We are live, Pony Express Broadcast Network, coming to you from iRacing tonight. A little change of scenery. This is the biggest endurance sim racing event in the community, and we're over here, FSB Endurance Racing. 13 years running NR 2003. But last year they fielded a couple cars in their new iRacing endeavor and had some good finishes here at Daytona. This year they have brought in even more drivers and fielded a third car. 15 drivers from around the world running 3 Corvettes here at Daytona for 24 hours, and we're watching the number 16 car right now. This is entry number 1 from FSB Racing, currently running in 11th place. And this isn't going to be a, your run-of-the-mill broadcast. Obviously, we've already missed the first 12, 13 hours of the race, and we're not going to stick around for the next 12 hours, but we're going to hang out here for a few hours and just, keep the cameras pointed in the right direction, and you'll hear some talking. We'll probably get a couple of the drivers themselves in between stints pop in here and talk about some stuff. And in fact, we have one of the drivers of this number 16 car who's already run a couple stints today. Road course sim racing legend, as well as a color commentary legend. Milt Minter is in the booth with us right now.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm trying to find the link to your broadcast.
If Milt sounds sleepy, it's because he's already driven this car for about 6 hours today.
Here it is. Okay, now we're on. Yeah. Well, that looks great. Yeah, it's been crazy, dude. Crazy. Right at the start, all 3 of our cars were lined up, and unfortunately Kenny got into the tire barrier, and then the 002 car got in the back of him. So really, they got a terrible start, and we got a pretty good start. And it's just been insane. The GT traffic is just really hard to get by. They're almost as fast as us in the road course area, and so we have to be real patient. You'll meet Jerry here in a few laps. He's going to be pitting, and Doug Tivic's going to be getting in the car. Road course there's a lot to that. Pit road speed, and you see cars going off there. And it's just 187 miles an hour to 189 in the draft. And you got these guys leading the race that are running just unbelievable lap times. We're chugging along. We've got some minor damage, but basically, car has been good. You see right here on the broadcast, it looks real clean. That's because he just got in the server. Yet on my end, it's just covered with rubber. These damaged cars up ahead here, trying to follow and pass these Audis and Mercs they're just, it's insane.
We'll show you a quick update right here. As you can see, this number 16 car, the self-titled number 1 entry for FSB Racing. As you can see, they are in 11th place, currently 9 laps down, and you can see that they've run, they're closing in on 450 laps already. And then if you scroll a little further down the field, you can see, here we go, this is entry number 3, Kenny Paul, currently running this car. They are in 15th place, currently 13 laps down. And then a little even further down the field, we've got the second entry for FSB. So 3 cars in total. This car is currently in 20th place and being shown 27 laps down, but we're only halfway done. Still a long ways to go.
Yeah, I just went into different channels. It's really quiet in the 03 They had a long fix there. And Kenny got in the guardrail. Oh boy! And right in front of our number one car spins out. I mean, it's just constantly. You cannot even look at this. Just wow, that was unbelievable. That's how quick it is, and a lot of these guys are really pushing hard. And our strategy is to just be the tortoise, and the second half of the race now is where you start seeing, you know, fatigue and you know, maybe not the better drivers have peeled off the cars, but I like our chances at a top 5 here still.
Let's see if we can't hop into the cockpit here with F. Jerry and take a lap around this Daytona road course.
This is your view, and it's not very
Go
good.
away, Wes.
We've got the in-game spotter, and we've also got our team spotters looking ahead at them on the plate view. 190 miles an hour, and you're hard
Go ahead,
braking
Rob.
down
I'm not
the
going to fight
second
you.
gear.
I'm not going to fight you, Rob.
Ease around the corner in
Thanks,
second
buddy.
gear. Low rev bend, third, fourth, right up against the wall there. Hard braking down to the second. Apex right out. You don't want to hit that curve. You want to go out to the other curve. And you come up to the kink here. It's very tricky. You can ride it off right here. Got to lift a little right there. You see there's a lot of rubber on the track now, iRacing, as the buildup comes up. You hear those marbles banging off, rocks banging off the bottom of the car. Hard braking here. This is a glitch of the game here that shows a yellow flag every time. And there is not one. Onto the banking. You see he's catching a couple of PT cars right here. And a DP car. Just breeze those curves. This is about 3.5 hours in the car total for Jerry, which is just about the same as what I've already run. Each driver has to have a fair share of laps in the car.
So there you have it. That's a 141 around Daytona road course. Really awesome to have the in-car as well as the walk-through of the track with Milt. And we'll definitely try to do that a couple more times tonight for anybody who might join us later and may have missed that one. We'll try to do it again later tonight.
Got a couple of the drivers in here now. We got, I guess we'll start off with the boss, Jim Ray. You got a copy there, Jim?
Yeah, we were able to get a spotter. Dean is keeping an eye on Ken, so I was able to come up and give a few words to the media here. A little quick mid-race press conference. What started with a sim racer and a dream has now evolved into 13 hours in here at the Daytona 24 hours. All 3 cars still running in the top 20. Each one has had its own set of ups and downs for sure, but running real good and clean right now as the field starts to thin out a little bit.
Now, Jim, tell us. I was talking about, last year you guys fielded 2 cars in this race, and this year you guys have 15 drivers from all over the world fielding 3 cars. Where are some of our drivers from outside of the U.S.?
We have in car 2 has 5 different time zones from 5 different drivers. Dean Garland from Australia, Steve Jones from the UK, and I need to see a roster myself here as I'm getting dizzy watching. Dean Grogan, excuse me. and Ken Soska on the East Coast, myself
I'm
on
just
the
following you,
Pacific,
Chuck.
and Todd also on the East Coast there. So it's four time zones represented in this car, which gives you a nice advantage because right now Steve Jones sleeping like a baby in his little bed. He's going to wake up tomorrow morning at about 10 o'clock his time, and he's going to rip off a bunch of laps as we're about to pass out when this thing's about to end. So that's real helpful. And the other cars, I think, are mostly U.S.-based with drivers in every time zone there. A few drivers dropped out at the last minute there last week, but we had interest from more East Coast folks and a Scottish driver that didn't make the starting grid here. But yeah, 15 drivers, 5 drivers in each car, working with their schedules for work and things like that just to get them all in the car.
The driver change for the 01, 001, or 16, as the number they gave us. Doug Tevick in the car now. Really hard, crazy to drive on cold tires right now.
Now tell me, how you guys have months of preparation for this event, correct?
Yes. So usually about a month or two, when we get the date finalized and the settings finalized, and we put up an all call to see who wants in. We have about 20 drivers on the FSB team at the moment. 5 for whatever reason couldn't make it. It's a big commitment for the whole weekend. And then from there we try to group based on time zone. At the last minute we ended up basing on setup. All the drivers need to share the setup of that particular car. So the 001 or whatever 16, the FSB 1 is running a different setup than the other 2 cars, and all those drivers in that first car preferred that setup, and so everyone else is driving something a little more stable, a little less risky. Yeah, so lots of preparation. We have hosted sessions the weeks prior, and then all week long at iRacing. I mean, there's 700 teams, over 700 teams registered started this race at once, and so 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 drivers, minimum, and they're practicing all week long. So all these servers are full all week long. You get out there, have a lot of fun, and tweak the car to your liking.
So we noticed there was quite a long pit stop for the 02 car, 002 car. He's back to speed. How's that car running? You drove it earlier. You said it was kind of pulling to the left a little bit.
It still is a little bit, but I think it's getting better. I was able to run my best laps that last time, bunch of 42s and 43s. But it's had pretty significant damage. It's like a server glitch or a warp. Put the car in the tire barrier. Ken disappeared, and then he woke up in the tire barrier, so we had to get it towed there. And that was about 4 minutes. And then Dean was out on his first stint coming into pit, and somebody got loose in front of him, and he couldn't avoid him, and that was 9-minute damage fixed there. So it's weird. You can't really tell if it's completely fixed or not, but it feels a lot better. It's really loose on left-handed corners, like getting into turn 1 and getting on the straightaway. And with 5 laps to go in the run, you really just it's like the opposite. That's how it would feel at cold tires. It's really hard to drive. So we pitted and repitted, hoping they would fix it, and I think they did. It's the last time we got smashed. I think it straightened it out a little. So it's still fast. We're many laps down, but we're having a blast bringing it back to the top 15, hopefully.
We're actually watching
Staying inside.
002 car right now. Ken Soska behind the wheel. Milton and Greg were talking to me about Ken last night and how much work he has put in to be able to join you guys in this endurance endeavor.
Ooh, car off right in front of him.
Yeah, he was watching last year, and then now he's done a year with us, off and on in all the races, and now he's out there and out there doing it. And that, having the server glitch and everything really threw him for a loop. He came back out of the pits, and it was a mess. So we're like, pit it again, take the tires off. We pit it again. They banged on it a little bit more, and the poor guy, he just had his hands full. So once you get through that, you get out of the car, you get back in, you know what to expect. There's no surprises, and right now he's just banging out 44s, 45s all the way down the line. So he's honed in, and as soon as I say that, we're on the grass.
P9 has just wrecked the car real bad. He drove straight through the inner loop. That's going to be a penalty. Watch out, Ken. He's coming by Ken right now.
But a lot of guys like Ken and Kenny, they both came on early last year, and you just put in the time, you show up and run some of the iRacing road racing series in between these events to help sharpen your skills and stuff, because this is not easy. But they both come a long way, and they're regulars and starters and captains and all good stuff here at FSB Endurance Racing.
And now we're following the 003, Kenny Paul, piloting this entry right now. Joined by another driver, Greg Bernardo. Greg, have you run any stints yet today?
Prototyping, staying inside.
Yeah, I'm the low
Staying inside prototypes.
And 003 car, just ran one stint so far, but fairly clean, just a couple tires off, and all 4 fenders are still on the car, so we're happy.
And you know, I was talking to Milt. How do you guys collectively feel about the? I know you guys had setup issues last year. Is it worlds different this year?
Most definitely. It's still obviously can be tweaked, but it's light years ahead of last year by seconds. Our top drivers like Larry and Randall and those guys right now, we're very competitive with some of the fastest times. So yeah, the setup is greatly improved, and of course that ramps up the confidence level too of all the drivers. So they're turning their best laps, and I'm certainly turning my best laps with their setup.
B9 is done, so that's going to be a spot for us. For everybody moving up. I think that car. No, he's back now. He did a driver change, looks like, or something. So that car has major damage. Sorry.
Now, when I got home from work, I went ahead and did a shout out to the whole sim racing community, all the avenues that I could think of. I posted on several large iRacing Facebook pages about this.
Carson, go ahead. I'm not going to fight you, buddy.
So
Go
hopefully
ahead, Carson.
hopefully we're going to have a lot of viewers tune in and you know, bring some awareness to endurance racing here on iRacing.
Yeah,
it's like nothing else. It really is. It's like you put a whole season worth of weekly racing into just one day, and it's pretty neat accomplishment if we can bring it home at the at the end of the next day. Everybody in our lives probably drives them crazy. Kids and wives going crazy out there, but it is quite an accomplishment just to get on the track. Heck, just to get qualified, connected. Heck, with 13 splits, we're able to get all 3 cars in the same split, which was just for your benefit, Mark, so you could just show one server.
Yeah, great job with that, Jim, by the way. Teaming.
I heard about that.
A lot of work Jim did to get this thing going. He deserves 99% credit.
I heard about that
Same
this
with
morning.
the
Milt sent me a text and told me that you guys got all 3 cars in the same split. You know, tell us for people who don't know anything about iRacing, tell us, you know, how you were able to do that, how that works.
In short, real quick, iRacing establishes an I rating for drivers based on how well you do against drivers and their I ratings. And everybody has a number starting at whatever, low hundreds up to the 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. And what I do is I try and put one person in each car with a similar I rating. And what it does is it'll take the first 60 cars, put them in this split, the next 60, all the way down until all the servers are full. And if the split doesn't happen right on top of our number, then there's a decent chance that we can all get in the same race. Ken's about to get run over here with an impatient P9, as Milt would say. So we got lucky in a sense, but we put ourselves in a position. It doesn't matter if we're in the front, the higher splits or the lower splits. We just want to be in the same race, so we can keep an eye on each other's cars and stuff like that. And usually that's one more car that one other car you don't have to deal with on the track. But we found each other today.
Now I know you guys. I know you guys have 3 separate channels set up in TeamSpeak. Do you have? Is there any whispering going on since you guys all 3 cars are on the same track?
No, not necessarily. We can just hop to the other channel and like I was following Doug for about 25 laps, and I was figuring if I need to pass him or not. Out of nowhere, Milt pops in. Hey, Doug's pitting this lap, so you know we have a pretty good communication between the channels. much better than the iRacing audio option that they have, and that works fine. It works in the game. It's got its own built-in team speak, but we like this because it's constant, it's private, and we're all pretty familiar with it.
Yeah, the flaming sometimes gets a little out of control and distracting in those channels. Dark breezing 141s right now.
And Kenny here is finishing up his stint. He's got about 4 or 5 laps remaining, and we're going to be doing a driver change in the 3 car. I believe Kenny is going out, Randall is going in, and then I'll be going in after Randall. And Randall's been running some really clean laps, fast. He's our fastest lap driver in the car right now. Only thing that knocked him out was a server crash, not his own doing. So he's really one of the fast guys that we're looking forward to maybe making up a couple more positions here.
And so we'll keep an eye on the 003 here and watch for him to make a pit stop and a driver swap, and we can see that front left damage on that 003.
Yeah, there was a clip of the tire barrier there, and when Kenny went in for his fuel and tires after his first run, he elected to only allow about 10 seconds of repair done. He felt that it was just cosmetic, it really wasn't hurting the car, maybe just a mile an hour, so the 30 seconds or so of time may be addressed in the driver change now.
Now tell me if one of you could tell us a little bit about the fuel mileage in your pit strategy tonight.
We went by last year that we could get 45 or 50 minutes, which is roughly 28 laps. Some people at 27, some guys can go 29. So you just look at, if you come out of the bus stop and you can go like 1.4 laps, then you know you can probably make it around again. We've sputtered on pit road, we've ran it out completely and been okay. We haven't run out where we needed a tow or anything. But you just want to run it out as far as you can, so that might be one less stint or one last stop at the end of the race. This Daytona, it's got the easiest pit road, at least to get on, less time to get on and off like Spa or Le Mans or something crazy like that. So it's not that critical, but it's always nice to have one less, you know, if that thing's on pit road, you're not going forward. So these guys may be able to eliminate, like car 1 on a steady pace here, they should be able to eliminate like the last 2 stints that we had on our schedule, and that's kind of planned. The car should get a minimum of 45 minutes. It usually gets about a maximum of 50 minutes, and we want to max that out every stint. We don't want to pit with anything really left in the tank.
Yeah, if we eliminate those 2 stints, then Larry will finish the car, and I can start drinking beer earlier.
Exactly. Which will be 5 a.m. here on the West Coast. Which we'll pass last call, and then we'll be getting ready for first call. So
now I see the 16 car has moved back up into 10th place, and the 003 has actually just moved up into 14th.
Excellent. Yes, sir. That's what we want to see. That's what we're going to need to see, is a lot more of catastrophic failures from our competitors to get on there. And in that 20th hour is when the gremlins come out and weird things just start happening.
Yep.
We'll have situations where every 2 laps, 7th is out, 8th is out, 1st is out. And it's amazing, Rick. It's just one flick of the wheel, one power outage, one modem dies, whatever. Around the world, anything can happen, and it usually does in that 20th hour.
Now, I remember last year, I think you guys were in the same split as AJ Allmendinger.
Yep, that was one recognizable name in that one. I know he and Shad, I think, got close or rubbed some fenders together. And rumor had it, I think they ran out of drivers in that car or something. They bowed out early. But yeah, it was nice to see a recognizable name in the server.
And then the next weekend he ran the real 24 and led at about the halfway point and was running really good, and they had some kind of failure. So it's definitely you know, this is the top simulation in the world. And, you know, my buddy that's going to be running the 24 hours next week, Gunnar Jeanette, they got 3 Mercedes-Benz and MGs, just like you see here on the track, only they're real. The WeatherTech cars, and he also uses iRacing as a training tool.
Now, you know, your dad being a road course legend, how much experience did he have here at Daytona?
He raced here, I think 5 times, and him and Paul Newman and Elliott Forbes Robinson in 1975 finished 2nd in class and 5th overall in a kind of outdated Ferrari 365 GTB. In fact, a guy sent me a picture of that very car today when he saw that I was posting stuff on Facebook and iRacing. Sent me a picture of that car at speed, and brought back a lot of memories. And Paul Newman was a hell of a driver. He was not just a rich movie star making laps. He ended up being a Trans Am champion, and that was no joke. He also ran here with Danny Agayas in 1980, and they qualified on pole in the Porsche 935 K3, and Danny went out to a blistering lead, and then started blowing turbochargers because he had that boost all the way up. That's why they called him Danny on the gas, Agayas. He ran here with Michael Kaiser. He ran the Ferrari Brunelletti Boxer, which that thing was had a lot of problems. It was a 12-cylinder mid-engine car. Oh, he ran here a bunch of times and really loved Daytona.
And here we go, 003 heading down pit road for a driver swap.
Now, when you hit this second line right here, you got to hit your pit road speed limiter. And you got to hit your stall here. You go past this stall too far, and you got to make another lap. You're in big trouble.
And there we go. We saw so when the car disappears and then reappears, that's the actual driver swap happening.
Absolutely, and now see that Randall Sherritt's in that car.
The driver will see a timer. They're going to estimate that it takes about miraculously 20-25 seconds to pull one driver out of that car and get another one in, but that can happen while it's being fueled. You don't lose any time by having a driver change, which is nice. So this is simulating filling the tank here. And probably fixing some damage. If Kenny didn't fix it last time, that means Randall's got to suck it up and get it fixed here this time, because we really want to get that fixed every time. You never know how it's going to compile next time. This car is pretty funny with damage.
So with your proposed fuel strategy, if you're able to cut out an extra stop or possibly even an extra driver change, you're potentially saving yourself, you know, minute and a half.
Yeah, almost.
Easy, Randall.
Yep.
These tires are so crazy. This first corner right here, you gotta really be careful. See how he just manages that. I mean, you were just shaking. I mean, the first time I went out in the car, my whole body was shaking as I made those first couple of corners. So you get some heat in the tires, and the car starts to respond, and you can take a deep breath. And a lot of times you come out, and then there's somebody right on your ass, you know, right away.
Yeah, he lucked out right there.
Yeah, he did.
Before I get back in there, we're going to have a driver change in the 002. Just want to give a shout out to all the new guys we brought in. With the last month, we had like an odd number of drivers, so I just threw out some feelers to about 4 or 5 guys in the iRacing forum, and most of them wanted to come on and run with us. So Randall Sherritt, Todd Larrabee was an FSB driver years ago, and that name looked familiar, so I looked him up in my files. Sure enough, he left on good terms, so we'll give Todd a ring, and boom, he said, all right, let's go. And Dean is from Australia. He's in, and that was kind of how I found Steve at Le Mans last year. Steve actually lives in the UK and goes and works at the Le Mans track to prep it before the race. And great stories, great guy, along with all these guys we met. So I think we've added, 3 good members, maybe 4. to join us for future events. But if I could just do a rundown of the teams real quick. Team 1, I don't know if you've done this already. Larry, Milt, Jerry, Doug, and Guy, all longtime FSBers right there, all out of the U.S. Team 2 is Todd, a new guy. Ken Soska, which you can see there, myself. And then Steve and Dean, the new guys. And then car 3, Kenny, Shad, and Greg, all veterans here of FSB. And then Randall Sherrod and Zachary Robinson. He's on TeamSpeak now, but he can only race the first half of the race, so we scheduled him to run all of his stuff in like the first 8-9 hours. And he brought that car back solidly in his first stay here at FSB. So glad everybody's here. Hope they all get to watch the rebroadcast. I got to get back to work. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Milt. Hey, Lamb, what's up, buddy?
What's happening, guys?
Lamb,
broadcasting a little race here.
Lamb joined us. Lamb, no stranger to road courses. I know he loves that GTP series you guys run. Lamb, what are your thoughts on the Daytona road course?
It's fun. It's pretty good. Does this change from daytime during the start to nighttime at night? 'Cause I see the headlights here.
No, it's all nighttime. Right now they don't do day to night, but I imagine in the future iRacing will be doing that, and possibly, you know, they're already experimenting with weather and stuff as they move along, you know.
I certainly like the graphics here on YouTube. Looks great.
Yeah, and it's so realistic in the car. When you're in the car and they kick up the rocks, they bounce off the front of your car, and then you see the rock go flying away, you know. It's like king, 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 king. It's just all the little details, pieces of rubber hitting you, and the sounds, you know, are just incredible.
Oh yeah, we're looking back at the 002 car right now. You can see the rubber and dirt all over the front of it. I've been watching chunks of rubber and rocks bounce off this car for several laps now. I ran a truck race at Auto Club on iRacing the other day, and it's the first time that I've run iRacing since they implemented the new marble system. And I gotta tell you, you get up in the high groove in a NASCAR race or something, or anywhere, in those marbles, it's really cool how iRacing has been able to bring that realistic feature to the sim racing world.
As we trudge along here, man, this baby's a marathon.
And here comes the 002 coming down pit road for the driver swap.
Oscar out. Dean Brogan from Australia in.
Oh man, don't look now. The number 16 FSB car is up into 8th place.
Doug has been dialed in so far. Him and Larry have definitely been our two fastest drivers in that car, and me and then Jerry. Jerry's last stint was a little more coagulated with a lot of cars. A lot of it depends on how you hit traffic. If you can get in a rhythm and you know, without having to slow down, you just have to temper your aggression. You know? Oh boy, did Dean hit those? Don't want to hit those darn. He's got a car on the inside there. Okay, you don't want to hit those darn curbs. They're about 4 inches high, and they will give you damage instantly. See the lights blinking. I don't know if you've noticed so far, the DP cars have the ability to blink the lights, let these cars know that they want to get by, and it's quite bright in your mirror.
I've seen that, and I was going to ask you, is that, now does the driver blink the lights, or is that automatic when you're making a pass?
No, yeah. Oh boy, Dean's way out there. Yeah, Dean got damaged coming out of the pits, hitting those curves. Gosh darn it, man. That's heavy damage for the O2 on the front end. 002. Yeah, you have a button set for. You can set buttons for just about all kinds. You can set it for. I've got two. I've got one for pit road speed limiter and one for headlights. You can also set buttons for brake bias. And oh, look at that damage.
Looks like it's really unsteady right now.
I thought I saw him clip those curbs. It's so gotta come out like a grandma out of those pits, boy, big time. You know, you try not to get too carried away with blinking, because you can irritate guys, you know, and it does distract them. But a lot of times you'll see two GT cars run together and one will want to pull out, and we get such a run on the, well, you see those
yeah, you can see the sparks when
fly
you
off
go
there.
over there.
And you want to let them know, no, wait a minute, I got to get by first, because I got somebody on my tail, you know. It's a ballet out there, and sometimes they get it wrong, and you really have to ride the brake and kind of brake way early. In your mind, there's no racing line either. This is at the top pro level. You don't get a racing line. You have to use your visual acuities, and you have to drive cockpit too, you know, riding on the rough stuff. But you really got to get, and when you get behind these cars, you can't see, so you got to get a sense. You know, we practiced all week. You know, up until this last week, we practiced on setups and speed. Then the last week, we practiced simply on the IMSA servers of dealing with these cars and knowing when you can pass them and where's the safest place, and taking chances and making mistakes so that when we got in this race, we wouldn't make those, you know.
Now, Milt, I know you guys ran the Corvette last year. What made you guys go with the Corvette instead of the other cars?
We like the faster prototype cars. If we're going to be in the race, we've run the GT cars before, and it's just a lot funner to run the faster cars, and we're definitely looking forward to Le Mans, and hopefully by then the Porsche 919 hybrid will be available, as Porsche has committed to. First, the GT3 911 should be out any time now, and of course we're going to be driving the crap out of that. But then we're hoping before Le Mans we get the 919, and you know that we'll be driving at Le Mans in June, and that'll be the Porsche hybrid for sure. Very exciting. It'll be really interesting to see how much they can simulate as far as using the hybrid power system, the turbocharged motor, and maximizing that, because it's a very complicated car to drive in real life. It's not just press on the gas. You have to maximize your, you know, the Porsche gets 500 horsepower out of the motor and 400 some odd horsepower out of, you know, this car here's got about 450 or 500 horsepower. And when that 919 comes out of Le Mans, we're going to be going, you know, 230 on the straightaway. And, you know, how could you not want to drive that car?
Now, Milt, I want to say I heard you talking about Steve McQueen last night before the broadcast. Did you race, or Steve McQueen, your dad raced with Steve McQueen's son?
Yeah, that was with Gunnar Jeanette. Like I said, it's going to be racing next week at the real Daytona 24. One of my dad's last rides was at Homestead and road course, and then here in 2000, after he had been in remission from cancer, with Dad McQueen and Steve's son, and my dad, and Gunnar Jeanette, Porsche 911 GT3, and that thing was yellow and had a big. Oh boy, Doug's in a world of hornet's nest. I mean, it's constantly. He's got a lot of times you just want to, even if these guys are down from you, you just want to let them by. But yeah, you know, it's just really, they're just great people, and it's really neat. They get, you know, they put up a lot of money to give my dad his last couple of rides. Because, you know, Ken and Jeanette Gunner's dad, he's from Florida, and you know, he's a Porsche fabricator extraordinaire, and that's where he makes his money. He started as a tile guy in Turlock, California, working for his father-in-law, and now he's a millionaire, just working on priceless Porsches. You know, unbelievable guy, and he really got a roof for what's the real one next week. They're not just a bunch of rich guys, which they are pretty rich, you know, driving for WeatherTech. And then that's another guy, Gunner's teammate, Cooper McNeil, big kid. I met him, I'm about 6'3", he's about 6'5". I don't know how he fits in that damn race car, but just a really nice kid. Took some pictures with him, and he's a hell of a young driver too. And we pretend we think we are real race car drivers, but those guys are living the dream, and they bicycle, work out. I mean, they're in great shape. It's not like the old days where you know, the drivers got drunk the night before the race or whatever. These people are high-tuned athletes.
Now, Milt, when is your next run in the car?
They will be after Doug gets out. We've been updating the spreadsheet, and here, let me take a look. Thing is so huge. This is just another thing Jim Ray did. It's just unbelievable. Doug will be out of the car at approximately 8:25.
Pacific?
Let's see, is that? Yeah, hold on a minute here. I've got this thing.
Come on by.
Doug should be out. This might have to be updated a little bit. After Doug, it'll be Guy Pitra. Then after Guy, Larry again. And then me. It should be around, I should be getting in the car somewhere around 11:10 to 11:30 Pacific time. Got them all. This is quite, this is to organize and do all this and update it as they go on this spreadsheet. Every time we get out of the car, we report if we had damage, how long our pit stop took, and what time it was when we left pit road. And then they factor that in and readjust this spreadsheet. It's quite extensive.
Now, Milt, I understand Jeff Gordon's going to be running in the 24 hours of Daytona. How do you think he's going to do?
I think he's going to do well. I think he'll probably be doing like what we're trying to do, and that's take it easy and let some of the more experienced guys, like they're driving the new Cadillac, which is a beautiful new Daytona prototype design. These cars will be, I believe these cars will be able to run at Le Mans too, which would be, they're like, these cars here are much more conventional with no real ground effects. They got ground effects, but not like the modern cars like the Porsche 919. These cars that Jeff Gordon's going to be driving are state of the art, still with these small blocks motors, so not as much horsepower, as like the full-on prototypes run in Europe. But you know, he's got the two brothers. Gosh, I can't remember their names. Taylor brothers, who drive for Chevrolet, have been driving for Chevrolet for a while, and they're really good in these DP cars. So they'll be the rabbits, and Jeff Gordon will probably just be running 2-3 seconds slower lap and just keep the car on the track and hand it over. So I'm sure he's really excited about that.
You know, in talking about Jeff Gordon in NASCAR, you know, we watch, you know, we all watch NASCAR, and we see, you know, those cars, the engine builders, you know, those are 3 to 4 hours for a race. Here, you know, I can't even imagine how much stress is put on these motors running 24 hours.
Well, and like there's, you know, I posted a couple videos in FSB forum, and they're out there on YouTube of the roar before the 24 last week's test session. And one of the ones I posted in there was Jeff Gordon's car. And man, when a buddy of mine, Michael Murray, who's a former race car driver, he's on Facebook. In fact, he might end up watching this. He's, you know, raced back in the 60s and 70s, was a friend of my dad's. He took his grandson there, and he said, well, the sound is so incredible when you're there live. It's so loud. I mean, it's just, when they, wow! I mean, when they step, those beautiful small block V8s, just unbelievable, you know. And then you got those Audis, those 10-cylinder Audis, and when you hear it on iRacing, they use the actual, you know, sound files from these cars to make these sound files up. So very close and intoxicating when you're driving. See the lights flashing there to make that pass on the 03, letting them know I'm coming through, and that's how it's done.
Milt, what do you think your dad would have thought about sim racing?
Well, I think he would have been blown away. I think he would have been blown away that a diesel, you know, won Le Mans, you know, with the Audi diesels. He would have rolled over in his urn, you know, over that. And this stuff, I don't even think he could have possibly visualized it. I remember when I first started sim racing, before I started sim racing, I did PlayStation. I brought a steering wheel over, and you had to sit it on your lap, you know, the old PlayStation 2 Gran Turismo game. And I hooked it up to his TV, and he drove a little bit, and he's like, where's the clutch? Where's the seat of the pants? I can't. Where's the shifter? I go, well, use the paddle shifters. Well, you know, he's used to having to heel and toe and manhandle a car, you know. So this, you know, just the technology of the real cars, let alone the gaming, blown him away, I'm sure.
Corner got me.
I'm going to step away for a minute, get some more coffee going, and make a pit stop. I'll be back in a sec.
We're watching a great battle right now between FSB's 003 entry and the looks like the two 24 car there in 18th place. But anyways, that's Randall Sherritt there in the FSB's 003 entry, and been battling back and forth with the other Corvette there. And now we'll see if we can't head over and see who's in the FSB's 002 entry. That's Dean Grogan right there, still in 20th place. They've actually moved up a position. Uh, 56 cars started this race, and it's safe to say there's probably about 39 cars still out there running. All three FSB cars are in the top 20 with FSB's number 16 car all the way up there in 8th place, doing a hell of a job.
That was low sketchy.
And we saw the 66 car there trying to get by the 002 FSB car and came in there extremely hot, got sideways. Hell of a save there by whoever happens to be driving that car.
Okie dokie, the coffee's cooking. Normally when you hear me broadcasting, I'm usually popping those Budweisers left and right, but not tonight. It's race night. Not until I know I'm not driving.
You know, originally I had planned on starting at, 11 Eastern and doing 10% of the race, 2.4 hours. I got home from work and decided I'd fire it up early. We went live an hour and a half earlier than we planned, and I'm going to hang out for, as long as I can and try to get you guys at least 3 hours of broadcast material here.
Oh,
tonight.
that's so cool, man. I appreciate it.
I'm hoping, hopefully we'll see FSB owner Sammy pop in here at some point tonight.
Absolutely. Well, some of these other drivers, they're, it's all business right now. They're all doing something, spotting or taking some rest, eating. I mean, you have to plan when you're on your off time. You got to make sure you're fed and after my second stint, I got on the couch with ice on my shoulder and took an ibuprofen and some ice on my back. Sitting in this chair for a long time can really, and then you won't believe how fast the stints go when you're driving. But when you're watching, you're like, man, that's a couple hours before I get in. But man, when you're in the car, it seems like you run and then. Because it's so intense constantly, my eyes are just wide open, as wide as they can get, because you can't ever rest with 56 cars out there on the track.
Oh yeah, for me, I've run the Indy 500 here at FSB a couple times, and I've done the full Daytona 500 on iRacing, and just those 500 milers, my hands get sore and my eyes get tired, and I can't imagine what you guys do here in a road course. Ovalers might not believe it, but I know on a road course you got to pay a little bit more attention than you do when you're just turning left.
Wow, I mean, yeah, the old two car just got his nose chopped off as he got past there. Yeah, I mean, on the straightaway, I got to make sure to put my brake foot, because my brake foot's already sore in my, because it's hard braking here in these cars. Not like some of the other prototypes like the Nissan you drive. You just barely lay on the brake. This car, you brake hard. And, you know, we've already run 457 laps in the 002 car as he gets blinked on there, let him know to get past.
And speaking of FSB owners, Sammy must have heard us call his name, because here he is.
I sure did. Broadcasting there.
Up smoke.
What's up, guys? Good job there, Mark. Thanks, guys.
Now, Sam, I know you. I know you have iRacing, because I've seen you on there before, and I know you have some new pedals on the way. Is there any chance we're ever going to see Sam in an iRacing endurance race?
Absolutely. No, I would have been in this one if I had the pedals I was scheduled to run, but no, they're on their way. I should have them Wednesday, and I missed this one, but I'm not going to miss the next one.
Yeah, and I think that'll be the 6 hours of Watkins Glen, if I'm not mistaken.
Right now, I'm just working on trying to get into the track so I can help these guys spot.
Yeah, we're going to need that as time goes on later. Oh, but
how do I get in that, Milton?
You need to scroll over the driver heads, and you'll see where they're driving, and you click on that, and they click watch.
And here we go. We see Doug Tevick heading down pit road.
This is Doug's first stint, so he will stay in the car. Definitely tires and fuel for the 16 car. Our number one car. Up to P9, very good. Another clean run for him.
And he's off, so just a quick stop for tires and fuel there. Probably sip of water, and Doug gets back out on track.
I'm going to steal a milk for a minute so we can get me set up in here.
10-4.
Got it.
Actually riding along in the cockpit right now, the number 16 car piloted by Doug Tevick. We'll see, now that he's made that pit stop and he's got some fresh tires, we'll see what kind of lap times Doug can run. Doug is one of the best road course racers at FSB. Flashing the lights there as he's going to go by this Mercedes on the outside. So that lap was obviously a 224 due to the pit stop. We'll see what he's able to do here.
Baker Glen.
You guys like the new channel I created for this? Team?
Yeah.
We got a lounge now.
Well, we did have somebody come in and start giggling and talking, so I booted them.
Maybe I should password it.
I'm a little disappointed with the beer prices in the lounge.
Oh, they're high, dude. I have to pay for the service.
Wow, look at that gyro. Was that the gyro cam? You got it on there?
Oh, right now we're in the cockpit with Doug Tevick.
Look at this view.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Trying to see what kind of lap times he's running now that he's got some fresh
Boy, is
tires
he
on.
running the heck out of that thing. Look at him go.
He's just now getting up to speed with the tires. Remember, he pitted a couple laps ago, so
There you go, 142 that lap.
yeah, he should be able to, with the clear track. He's been running 40s and 41s, but he's also tempering it. You know, he's running 39 in practice, and so have I. But you can't do that we can't do it in the race without, you know, these guys leading the race. They're running amazing laps like that. Can they do it for the entire 24? You know, if they can, then we'll take our hats off to them. Right here is really off camber. It really wants to get loose right there. You got to make sure it's pointed straight. See the speed quickly up to 160, 170. Our car is clean, so sucker should get up to about 187. Not here because of the short. There's about 180 right there. Down the third gear, breeze those curbs, lift, breeze, and then pound it. Now on this longer stretch from the bus stop, you should see, especially if he picks up some of this draft here, constantly he's being reminded by spotters what cars he's got in front of him, behind him, plus he's got his mirrors.
There we go, that was a 141.
He just looks right on that inside. You pick that inside curb, and right when your eyes make contact with that, that's when you hit the brakes and try to brake in a straight line. Break a straight line here, eyes down inside, right on the curb inside. Let it float out to the outside curb. Now when this is called the kink right here, you gotta lift a little bit, breeze it.
Looks like he's quickly closing in on a heavily damaged BMW.
Yeah, and these cars are not easy. They're racing each other too, so you gotta be careful. See him blink the lights there, let him know. He knows he can get him on the straight here, so he's got to give it up a little bit. You see him ride the brake and brake earlier than normal. Slow cars on the left, fast cars on the right. See him move over. But you don't always get that. You have to be... Larry Krupp in his last run got pinched into the wall. Fortunately, he just scraped it a little bit. You brake it about the 1 3/4. You see the numbers on the right-hand side. Probably right now he's braking at the 2 marker until he gets some good heat in the tires here.
It's all you in the one here, Trevor.
Now, Milt, I remember last year when we did this event and I was on broadcasting for a couple hours. You were having some PC graphic issues. This year you have a new Matt Watkins special. Is it a big difference for you this year?
Oh, it's day and night. Eventually I had to bow out and just spot because it was just too glitchy. I mean, you know, iRacing is not as graphic intensive as, let's say, some of these ultra video games, but it's pretty intensive. You need a good PC to run it, you know. And Matt built me a heck of a one with a nice video card and sound card, and it makes all the difference in the world. If you're not seeing reality in front of you, you're gonna crash, you know. Boy, that really sucked too.
And graphics wise, you got everything turned up this year? You're able to see
everything, yeah.
You see the rubber pellets and everything?
Oh yeah. See the little when the rocks hit and then they fly up in the air, you see them go over your windshield. It's like, man, they just threw rocks at me.
Now, do these cars are you guys getting windshield buildup out there and using
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, the automatic tear off every time you pit, and it gets real cloudy and pieces of rubber on the windshield. Boy, and you know, that makes you nervous because those GT cars right behind Doug there, they brake. They can brake late. They're going slower, and they can drive it in just as hard or harder than us. So you got to have a little. You got to try to make a little gap because you see they came right up. If they miss their braking zones, they can punch you. And we've, you know, that happened to Jerry already once tonight. Then you get in these gaggles right here, and look at these GT cars are every bit as fast as the prototype. And going by Doug here, got to be patient here and just let it ride, and then you'll get them on the straightaway. Looks like Randall Sheridan, the AA3, running some pretty nice laps. 140.247 with a little bit of damage on the front nose there. Wonder if they didn't fix that from the last time. They may have just kind of beat it out a little. If they put a front clip on it, it takes a little longer.
What's say, bud?
And he's battling with 8th place right there and running faster laps than him. He's probably about our fastest driver on our team. You can see the chat on the window there on the screen. I prefer to have that turned off because sometimes guys will get pretty crazy in there and distract you. But see, Randall was also using the in-game TeamSpeak to talk to these guys. You don't know if some guys got it on, some got it off, you know. You can't really assume that they know you're coming.
I'm with you, Daniel.
This is intense, this battle right here, 3 wide. And y'all gotta pick a lane.
Y'all in the one, man, don't worry.
Turn 1 and then funnels into. You can make it 2 lanes, but you gotta really trust the guys around you. You tend to want to have nobody beside you. Look at the sparks fly off there.
Hello.
Milton, it looks like your GTP buddy Guy has joined us.
Hey, Guy Kramer, what's happening?
What's up, Guy Kramer?
You watching the broadcast?
No, actually, I wanted to ask for the link.
It's in the FSB forum.
I'll get it
broadcast.
I'll get it posted in TeamSpeak in a sec.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, we're doing pretty good, buddy, and we got this broadcast on. Got a couple more hours of it, so. Dead Terrence out there, man. I'll tell you.
I was just reading your latest Facebook update.
Ah, yeah. Well, you're a hell of a driver in GTP, and we need to get you on this team, man, eventually.
Yeah, it's a little pricey for me.
Yeah, it is. I try
Especially
not
now.
to think about it, because that's one thing that's great about FSB. It's a lot cheaper, and it's still a great game, great stock car racing, and it's great that Sam embraces this. And it doesn't really. It's not a. The great thing about this is it doesn't compete with our stock car racing and FSB. I still believe that FSB and the stock car racing in NASCAR 2003 is the way to go versus iRacing because of the structure and everything, and the clean driving and the rules. iRacing, in my opinion, in stock cars is brutal.
And I've read about a lot of people that still prefer running in NR 2003 over iRacing.
Well, some do, and Jim Rice still thinks Quebec still loves the GTP compared to this. He says it's far better than a lot of the racing going on here. But GTP is definitely that's a tough series. Okay, we're going to talk about that GTP in a minute. But if you look down in your TeamSpeak, you'll see a link I put up there for the channel.
I'm watching it now.
Cool.
Ooh, don't hit. Ooh, that was close.
Oh yeah, that's Randall Sherritt there. He's running some great laps, but they had damage early. The first lap, they had a crash, and our car, the yellow and white 16 car, we've been pretty lucky so far, knock on wood.
So there was damage. How is it top? Did you guys losing the top speed? How's it going?
Well, we had to get on the brakes there. When we get the damage fixed, it's all about time in the pits, but they generally replace all the body work, and you generally lose a little bit to start, and over time, every time you go in the pits, they work on it a little more, and it gets close, but I'm sure these cars are down a little bit of maybe a mile an hour or two compared to our car.
Nice clean pass there.
I'm going to get me a cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
Who are we riding with here, Mark?
This is Randall Sherritt in the 003
Ooh, somebody
car.
locked him up right behind him there.
Yep, Randall Sherritt, the 003 car, running out there in P15 right now.
So this is mixed class racing here tonight, huh?
Yeah, that looks like a BT car, the 2 cars behind.
Yeah, it's mixed.
Is that a Cadillac or Bentley?
They have Mercedes and BMWs out there. And then
it's Mercedes.
Yeah, these DP cars are the Corvette.
Yeah, we're running the bets.
On their way.
Hey, Guy, tomorrow is Mosport GTB.
Yeah, I saw.
It will not be. It will be canceled. And the reason why is because I was supposed to send the track to resend it because he hasn't put it up, and sometimes he doesn't. Brian at Race LM did not post that track, and he has to be the one to put it on our server. I can put tracks on every other server, but not this one.
Oh, Doug's off.
Yeah, we just saw Doug go off track there, trying to complete a pass. Was able to get back on track without hitting anything.
Well, that's important. I got pushed off by a GT car right there in the kink, and I had to do a little gardening, but you got to try to save the piece. And fortunately, I didn't hit anything, and neither did Doug. There, nice recovery over 24 hours, man. I mean, already.
Thank you.
You know, take a look at how many laps we've run. In our car has run 486 laps already.
Holy cow.
You're going to have some, and he's pushing the limit there. He ran a 49. That's damn fast.
Yeah, he was trying to get by that damaged Mercedes and just got into the turn a little too hot there, and now we'll see him chase down that Mercedes again and easily pass him.
Just so easy to drift wide when you're approaching those low corners trying to get around people.
Absolutely, yeah. And when you go offline, you know, I mean, changes your view, and you get in the marbles, and changes your attack angle to the corner. And these are low revers, but when they go, they want to go around quick. And this is on the edge braking all the time. So you run a lot of stuff. Corsa. You run R Factor 2. What do you think about these graphics on YouTube here? Pretty impressive, huh?
iRacing has always had very good replays and broadcast. The main thing is how everything blends together. Like the color palette is the most natural of them all. Like it's not the most advanced looking, but
it's more.
It blends well. It's more natural. And I saw they were doing driver updates, like the driver model, and they were working on the movements to like so you can have your hands crossed over, so you can actually see a one-to-one match with the virtual steering wheel instead of being stuck to the 90 degrees each way.
Yeah, you look at that. That's pretty much exactly what these wheels do, and you get a little bit better if you're actually looking at your own replay. Like you see, it says R on there. Obviously, he's on in reverse.
Yeah.
It doesn't show the gear changes, but a lot of that is, you know, so these guys don't give up all their secrets, you know. This car has computer-controlled shifting like the real car does, so you just can't shift when you want. You got to make sure and get your revs down.
Oh, really locks up that. I find that annoying because sometimes I like using the engine brake, like to force it a little bit for a slowdown.
The Nissan's different because it's modeled after like a 5-speed gearbox.
Yeah.
And
the 89 GTP.
Yeah, it'll basically shift when you want it, even if you over rev it. But this car pretty much won't let you do that, and it likes braking and low RPM downshifting. Just hard braking with those big, huge brakes they got on them.
Now you guys are, you know, GTP masters. You know, do you guys run? I'm sure you do run the Daytona road course on GTP. What are your lap times comparable to what they're doing here on iRacing?
I'd say 11 seconds, 12 seconds faster than the Daytona prototype.
Yeah, definitely. You're at 2 in the draft. I think we were at 2:20.
Yeah, you and Doug hit 19.
That was a great win, by the way.
Thanks.
Which I just could not get around you without getting in you, and the last thing I wanted to do was do that. That was a fun ass race, but yeah, about 2:19, I think we were getting in the draft.
Yeah, I went from heaven to hell very quickly, and then eventually got back to heaven.
He drove a fantastic race, so Brian Lamb ran a fantastic race too, and he kept us at bay for a long time, but you were very patient and waited for your move, and we're hoping to get more drivers out for GTP every alternating Sundays. Of course, this Sunday we won't. Obviously, we'll be sleeping, so I think there might be a practice server up. I don't know, but
I put up I know you guys were busy with this, so I actually put up a topic for the race tomorrow. I even put a link for the track download from the website itself.
And what's the next track we're running there?
Well, tomorrow would be most sport. Let me check.
All right, Marius.
Actually, next one calendar.
Yeah, it's definitely a track I don't have setups for, so definitely
Road America.
appreciate you.
Oh man, I'm not gonna be in the country for Road America or Lime Rock. Those tracks that was very good last season.
Oh yeah, and I love them. Yeah.
That's brutal.
Now you guys run the Mercedes?
Milt usually, yeah, he sticks to the Sauber Mercedes. First season, I only ran a couple races. I did a Sauber. The next season, I want to try something else. I did the Jaguar XJR9. This season I was thinking about going for the Toyota or the Mazda, but I figured, you know, do one full season with the C9 before moving to a different car. So I'm back on the Sauber.
And Milt, I know you won the championship last year. How are the points looking this year?
Pretty good, pretty good. You know, it's real close right now. So, and definitely, it's just one race, right? So, got a long way to go. Finished second, so. And, you know, Doug Tevick was leading early. He spun, and then he spun me twice. And he's going to watch this and go, "You throw me under the bus." But he spun me twice in 2 corners, and that's the 2-incident rule. And so he had to park it.
You know, I've
really hurt him. You know,
that was brutal, but yeah.
Yeah, it really hurt him because he's the fastest guy out there every week. It's just, you know, winning championships is, you know, about consistency. Sometimes you got to finish second, and I was fortunate to do that. But
you're Mr. Consistency because you got the pace and you're consistently that way.
And with those cars, they're so much horsepower, about 300 more horsepower than these cars do. Wheel spin is incredible. And you really have to be light on the throttle. I think that's kind of what hurts me in these cars a little bit is I'm so trained to be easy on the throttle that, you know, it's hard for me to get top-notch speeds, I think. It gives me consistency, and that's what I'm going to continue to look for as I got 3 more stints to go.
Now, talking about GTP, somebody who we don't see around much anymore, is Chris Baker the best around?
Just about, I think so. Arguably, him and Kevin Lewis, who used to race here, and Damian Gutzstill are about the 3 fastest. And then, of course, there was, back in the old days, there was Gregor Hoodoo, who is now the master of iRacing Formula 1, and Richard Dixon. They were you know, you talk
for racing.
But Chris Baker could definitely compete with those guys. We hope to see Chris back. You know, we have our Pro Cup Series named after his dad, who suddenly died last year. He was living in Brazil, and just broke our hearts. And definitely racing reminds Chris of his dad, so he had to take a break from that. But we hope to see him back someday, you know. Racing is family, you know, and sim racing is too. And we'll be there when he, you know, if he decides to come back.
It was very nice. Right after our Road America race, with me, you, and Mike were in TeamSpeak for about an hour and a half, just chatting away.
He was a wonderful man, and just never know. You get friendships in sim racing, and you expect everybody to show up every day. You never know what life turns can happen.
And we see the 002 car has been on pit road for a few minutes now, getting that left front fixed. Heavy damage left front. He's gone down about 5 or 6 laps now. Still on pit road, getting damage repaired.
Quick question on that: do you guys have to turn off the engine so it doesn't, the temperature, the oil in the radiator, temperatures don't go too high and cause an engine failure?
It will do that for you if you got a 20-minute stop or something where major damage fix. If it's like a 4 or 5 second, a lot of times the motor will stay on, but especially if they're just, you know, cosmetic fixing, if they gotta replace the clip or do suspension work, which will happen if you crash these cars hard. You might not be able to drive it back to the pits. You'll have to tow it because the steering wheel will be pointed one way or another, and you can't drive it back. It'll crow hop, you know. It's better if you can make it back because it's quick.
Saves time on the towing.
Yeah, because otherwise they gotta tow you.
And speaking of GTP, once again, you know, I'm no fan of road courses. You know, for me, I don't have the time to learn a track and practice and do all that it takes to run it in a road course. But I've run a couple GTP races with you guys. I want to say I've done Le Mans and Riverside, and the GTP mod on NR 2003 it's a lot of fun. And I can admit that, and I don't even like turning right.
Yeah, the coolest part is the cars. There's different characteristics on them. Like the Mazda 787B is the slowest, of course, but it's the most fun to drive of all cars.
It's got great brakes. I mean, you can outdrive. You know, we ran in a French league, HSO, historic sim organization. Very nice guys, and we ran there, and they put us in those cars, figuring they were the slowest cars. And we worked on the setups and worked on drafting, improve our straightaway speed, and we could just dominate them with those cars, especially like Road America, which you wouldn't think because of the long straightaways, but we could just challenge those braking zones.
Yeah, that's the thing, the corner speed and the brake. Because the top speed, like you get to the point where on 4th gear, you're already, the engine like slowing down, like you don't have that much torque. Then on 5th gear, it kind of bogged down at like 185 or maybe 190, when the other cars can go like 202, 203.
We can actually see the riding along with Doug Tevick again. We can actually see the dirt and the rubber building up on the windshield.
That's the gyro cam. That's a really cool. See when you get on the banking, how it shows you how much banking is at 33 degrees, and then in the flat and almost off camber. In the turn 1, it is off camber. Challenging.
Turn 1 in Daytona is amazing. Like it's great. You just go from super fast to how far you can go, can push into the brake, and then keep it on track without burning the tires.
Doug's got 27th place right on his yin-yang there, and probably looking at last lap times, they're about the same speed, so we'll have to see how Doug deals with this.
And like here we go, there's that 33 degrees of banking.
On GTP, this corner exit is very tricky because you can get a little too much wheel spin and the car dances about and go off on the wall and be done.
You gotta be careful here. Then you catch a GT car in. That's one place where you can really go faster than them. Blink the lights, let them know. Look at that banking. My dad crashed here in '78, I think, in Cliff Curran's Porsche 935. When he got out of the car, he just rolled down the banking. He couldn't even stand on it.
Wow.
Of course, then that's when he realized he had peed and pooped himself. He hit so hard.
Yeah, that car had a lot of power.
Yeah, especially when he hit the wall.
The 93578 is, yeah.
Yeah, it was like he hit a Chevrolet alternator. It wasn't the Daytona 24-hour. It was called the Paul Revere 250. It was like a night race before the Firecracker 400. They used to call, you know.
Look at the size of the diffuser in the back.
Here we are in the more standard
those brake lights.
More standard chase view that some people use in sim racing. Some people actually get car sick running cockpit.
Well, you can't use that in this game. It's cockpit or nothing. You can view it, but when you're driving, you're in the cockpit. That's it. But that is a wonderful view to see how the working brake lights and lights work in this game. It's just, and that does definitely help you. You know when they're on the brakes, you see it hard on the brakes there. You see those lights light up.
Well, you can even see the exhaust flames coming out the sides when he's shifting gears.
I'm actually curious to see how the car is going to behave on turn 1, the little S's, and then turn 2. Like if there's going to be any slide, and I think we should be able to see with this view.
And as you go through the tire run, let's see, Doug's got 9 laps left on this thing before Guy Petra gets in.
Tough spot to come against back marker.
And the tires are, at this point, starting to get iffy. You can see his lap times go down, and it slides a lot more, and it can get loose on you. Tire wear model is pretty darn realistic, except for when you spin in a real car, you would flat spot them. Just like with the damage, it's more about being able to finish these races. So they're a little off on that, but it's kind of nice. You don't have the random failures, random transmission failures, and engine failures like you do in other games.
Like I seem to get when GTP.
Yeah, you know. I mean, there are things you do in those cars where you can make it fail, but a lot of times you're just driving along and it goes up. Like we ran I ran 3 24-hour races in GTP, and in 2 of those, with Damien Godstilla in the lead, the car just died for no reason. No over-revs. Just poof, done. One was a header and the other was a clutch. Very frustrating. You'd rather have it in your own hands, you know.
Yep.
Right now, Guy Petra's getting ready. He probably stepped away for a little bit.
What about 12 more minutes of Doug?
No, I wasn't totally trying to pass you up top or nothing.
This is the danger time too, the beginning when you first get in, because you just get in blind. You can't really practice unless you go off to another server and fart around, but it's always, when you first get in the car, it's really scary. And then at the end here where these tires start to go off.
The car behind him for position or lapping, because he looks awful quick.
He's a lapper. You can, if you notice the red LEDs in the windows, that's what position they're in. And Doug is currently 9th, and that car behind him is in 21st.
But a lot of times these guys will still be quicker, so and desperate to make up time. So our spotters are also telling them the same thing that we're just talking about, and telling them, well, last lap, Doug, he ran a 42, about the same as what you ran. So you can decide if you want to try to stay in front of him, or if he gets closer, you might. If he's running a little bit faster, you might just let him by and let him by easy, so you don't lose a lot of time, and so you don't risk the guy trying to make a move on you and wreck you.
Yeah, here we go. The car behind him's in 27th place right now. I actually believe, Milt, that was the team earlier that was in front of you guys and then had some heavy damage and lost about 10 laps, and now they're trying to fight their way back up front.
That's always a dangerous thing when you have very fast people that are very far behind coming up the field. You never know what's gonna happen. Like they could be a little without patience. They can be, just go around you. But then if the pace is just a little faster, then that's the most difficult, because they're just a little faster, but not enough to easily get by, but also not enough to get away from you.
Now, Guy, where are you in the world?
Illinois.
Okay, so you are in the States.
Yep.
You're Brazilian though, correct?
Yeah. But I'm a dual citizen, so Trump is gonna stay away from me for now.
Thank God. We'd like to see you stay here, man. Yeah, so you're looking at this updated schedule.
And here comes that 62 car, still riding all over Doug's bumper.
Yeah, he's now turn one's gonna be interesting because behind him the car's faster, but ahead of him is a lower class car, so hopefully no. Okay, it's all safe now.
Doug just has to make it through a few more laps here before he can hop out of this car.
Okay, so I'm looking at the spreadsheet here. A little confused. Well, I don't think it's been updated because I think we're about an hour ahead of schedule. But next will be Guy Petra and then Larry Krupp being after that, and then it'll be me. That should be somewhere around probably 12 midnight me, and then I'm scheduled to do the last skid. That's my time at starting at 5:10, but being that we're an hour ahead, it looks like probably my stint will be probably have Guy Petra in the 01 last. Means after about 1 o'clock, I can start drinking beer.
All the calculations are not to set about the driving schedule, it's to set the drinking schedule.
Well, you know, we err on caution as far as the, what we can do, and then we hope we can make time, and we've made up a ton of time through less pit stops.
Move away from a Mercedes.
Yeah, when you catch them in the kink there, you can't get around them. You have to wait, and it's definitely frustrating, especially if you got somebody like Doug that has a dog in him, flashing the lights at him.
I think it comes down. Yeah, I think it comes down a lot to not just experience but racecraft, because you always got to be watching ahead of you, but also behind you, and then. You know, a situation like this, he had 3 opportunities to just lift off the throttle, let the faster cars go by, and then risk the race.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
This guy is not trustworthy. Let's see what happens now going into the fast chicane, because it's very dangerous.
And you know, Doug's thinking that same thing, and so the teammates that are in spotting for him are saying, this guy, and plus we've kept records of some of these cars, which ones are that we've had problems with throughout the race, and are heavily damaged, and so we spot them as quickly as we can.
Avoid any danger.
And it looks like that 62 car that was all over Doug actually pulled off and pitted. So.
That's nice, and Doug has still got, what, 3 more laps?
Let's see, he's at 4.7 at the line, or 4.8 at the line, so he can do 4. You have to have at least, we've calculated 1.2 is the minimum at the pit road line, because at 0.2 it starts to sputter, and we don't want to risk running out of gas.
Now,
we want to push it.
I know you guys used to do this kind of, the team racing stuff on NR 2003. Did you guys do 24-hour races? Or?
Yeah, we did. I did 3. I think Jim did 2. We did 12 hours of Sebring. We did 6 hours of Riverside, 6 hours of Watkins Glen. And it was in different leagues, Otis and Wozak before that. But we were in Otis, and then your teammates, Vader Trophy, hosted the last season before it kind of, when they didn't give us the win at Le Mans, when the leader was towed across the line, we were done after that. We were like, this. We didn't like the way that was run, and we didn't want to put all that time in and win the race and have it taken away from us. Because the leader blew up on the last lap, so he couldn't get back. You know, they didn't take it easy. They were still running super fast laps, and he blew up. So they tried to push him. And we were 4 laps down, so I kept making laps because it wasn't a timed event like this. And the rules of Le Mans are clear. You have to be running when you cross the start-finish line. And so finally they towed it. And when they towed it, the start-finish line is right at the beginning of pit road. The car was towed to their pit stall, which was, they qualified like second behind us, Damien Costello, and the export gave them the 400 laps and the win, and they wouldn't change it, which is just ridiculous. So,
oh yeah, that's BS.
we were done with that after that. So, and the driver changes were much more difficult. Each driver had to have a profile of the exact same name and car name, and you had to trick the game into making driver changes, and it would put you a lap down. This is, you know, straight up as close as you can simulate driver changes.
Car off in the grass as the 003 goes by. 003 car, FSB's third entry, is now up into 13th place.
Nice.
They're driving the wheels off that thing after being way down. At one point, they were, at the beginning of the race, they were 54th place.
Wow.
Randall Sherritt and Zachary Robinson are real studs, and then the rest of the team is just kind of managing the car until they get in, and they've got damage, so they would probably be a little faster. But you see, last lap 140.9, that's hauling the mail. That's almost as fast as the leaders, if maybe as fast as the leaders.
Well, I'm a mailman in real life, and that's a lot faster than I haul the mail. Now up into 12th place, he continuing to move forward. Yeah, Randall doing a hell of a job wheeling this car. 140.2 on that last lap.
Wow.
And that's fast without damage and out traffic.
Oh, look at the car ahead of him. That's dangerous.
Absolutely.
Oh, so much traffic.
And that car damaged is not driving like it should, and so he's got to very wary of that.
Especially with the car behind him coming at such speed, it's gonna be hairy coming on the back straight.
Look at the gaggle there, man. Oh, and he wrecks into the GT car behind him. Wow. Randall gets out of there clean.
That's 6th car again. Not a good back marker.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, the leader's last lap was 142, so much that can still happen here. Doug Tevick at 1.6 will be pitting this lap.
And here you go. This is the race leader. We'll go ahead and give you a look so you can see who everybody's chasing. It's this number 4 car. quite the paint job there. He's got the chrome blue rims. It's he's definitely standing out there tonight.
You don't need the lights to see him.
And the thing is that this lead has changed. It hasn't been for a while there was one car on the lead lap, and then they crashed. You know, so I mean, these guys can just be blowing you off, and it's a 24-hour race. You just can't ever give up. Donkey bop, man. You just gotta keep running your pace and let it pan out, because there's still 9 hours and 19 minutes left in this race.
Oh God.
And we've only been broadcasting for an hour and 45 minutes.
The night is but a child.
We should be seeing Doug Tivik on pit road. And there he is, and Guy Fitcher will be getting in. This will be Guy's second stint. He, like me, was really nervous when he first got in the car. But you got to get through that first lap while your feet shaking, and you start to get in a rhythm, you know.
And here we go, the 002 entry. You see they've got a whole new front clip on that Corvette after spending, about 5-10 minutes on pit road getting repairs. And they're back out on track. They've lost a lot of time, but got a solid car now, and they'll see what they can salvage.
Pick up the field. Now, Milt, I have a question. How do these cars behave on the first lap on fresh tires?
Oh boy, we're having server issues again. This is like the fourth time this happened.
Yeah, here we go. The iRacing server is crashing. That is not. That's not me.
That is not good. Boy, this just irritates me. And I'm sure they're gonna. And they're trying to see each other, and they don't know if they can see each other. Or, hopefully, we won't get booted. Last time the driver stayed in, and everybody else got booted.
And that's got to be tough for Guy Petro, who just got in the car and
absolutely,
hasn't even gotten in a groove yet, and the server starts blinking like that.
Come on, get back. It's not looking good though. If it does like it did last time, which is hopeful, these guys are trying to pass each other, and they may not even see who's in front of them. Guys trying to manage those cold tires. Come on.
Once again, if you're watching this, this is not on my side. This is the iRacing server having technical difficulties.
And see everybody getting booted again. Crap. I think Guy's out.
The second time it happens this year, right? In a big race.
Yeah, we see the chat there. Everybody's received throughput fell to unacceptable level. Everybody is getting booted. So if keep in mind, if I get booted out of the server here, I will reconnect as quickly as I can.
We survived.
Oh, look at that. There's about 5 cars got to stay in. Everybody else got booted.
And that's how I got like an 8-second penalty. That guy is out, so he's probably trying to get back in.
It looks, unfortunately, all 3 FSB cars were booted.
This is BS.
I see Kenny Paul has gotten back in, and Randall Sherritt has gotten back in.
And I've gotten booted too, so I'm going to have to restart.
I still don't see Guy back in yet.
Yeah, we're going to have to restart. And that's just baloney.
Meanwhile, I can tell you this much. Right there's our race leader, and lucky for him, he was not one of the cars that got booted.
How you maintain the lead?
Last time I tried to reconnect, it gave me an error. I had to get all the way out of the sim and back in, so let's see.
And here we go. Looks like Milt has reconnected. Guy Petra has reconnected.
If it gives us an error or not. That's going to probably hurt us big time, depending on who we were racing.
Yeah, here we go. It looks like Guy Petra is on pit road. He's went down 2 more laps so far. Dropped to 11th place. Still sitting on pit road.
Might have damage. Because when he booted out, the car may have, the game may have thought he had damage or gave him a penalty. You know, that's what happened to me. I got an 8-second penalty for being off the track, and I wasn't even off the damn track.
And here we go. The 002 is finally the first FSB car to get going again, and that's Jim Ray behind the wheel. The 002 with that freshly repaired car. Jim Ray quickly able to get connected and get rolling again.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten to the race screen here. It doesn't take this long. Gotta figure all these guys are trying to reconnect again. At least you didn't get disconnected, so you're still watching who's left.
I tell you what, there's
Okay, we're back. And Larry Krupp is in the car now. No, hold on. It's cycling through. I'm sorry. Catching back up. I believe Doug Tevick is back in the car.
Wonder if he's gonna come back in for a guy to replace him, or if he's just gonna go for a double stint now with the issues.
He might, to save us time, he would have to. It would be
What the
best
fuck are you
move.
doing?
I'm gonna go down there and talk to those guys a minute.
Go for
This is just ridiculous.
And we're still watching Jim Ray in that 002 car. First time we've seen him out there tonight. Former FSB owner, and now, you know, the FSB Endurance Racing manager, so to say. Spent a lot of time putting this whole thing together.
13 years. Now I see 2 HDPs coming from the traffic behind them, but the Mercedes is heavily damaged, and I wonder if it's gonna cause trouble to the other cars.
Thank you, sir.
Oh yes, he forced the Corvette wide. That's not good.
Let's see if we've gotten any of the other FSB cars back. Yep, there's Randall Sherritt in the 003. He is back out on track. And Guy Petra got disconnected and reconnected, but must have been some kind of connection issue for Guy Petra there, as Doug Tevick is now back in the 16 car.
So we have our cars in 11 and 14. Is that it?
We see the 16 going by the 002 right there. Those are both FSB cars. Yeah, we have the 16, the 002, and the 003. 16's in 11th place, the 003 in 14th, and then that 002 back in 32nd place after having to get a new front clip. And here we go, Doug Tevick heading down pit road. Perhaps Guy Petra is going to get back in the car.
All right, yeah, Guy's getting back in. which is going to lose more time. It showed us being towed, and then that's why we lost 2 laps, I believe.
And here we go. Not sure why we haven't been able to see this all night, but now that Jim Ray's in the car, we can see it. The FSB Beeline Sim paint job there on the 002. It's the first time the FSB paint job is showing up tonight.
It's because you look at the cars now; they all look clean. It's when the server crashes like that, it resets, so the cars look all brand new. All that rubber and stuff that was on them is gone. This is twice it's crashed completely, and then one time, definitely a bunch of email. iRacing is going to be blown up over this. And Dan was telling me, please save this broadcast, which I know you do because it's on YouTube. Because he says, I'm sending an email myself to Steve Meyer that they need to get this stuff fixed. But all this time and effort into this, at FSB, we have servers maintained, and stuff happens like that, occasionally, and we reschedule the races or stuff, but it's definitely not a 24-hour race, and it's not a pay-to-race service where you spend all this money. It's I need to calm down.
Yeah, to sum it
I'm
up,
extremely
it's
pissed
unacceptable.
right now.
Back when I want to say a year or 2 ago, not too long, when iRacing released the newer version of the Dallara IndyCar, and they set up that they were going to have the Indy 500 just like they did the Daytona 500. The Indy 500, they ended up having huge server issues and having to completely cancel the whole event.
Not like they don't know they have this big turnouts, and even now it's less people than they had before, but these issues they shouldn't be happening. The size of iRacing, the potential they have, and the servers should not be happening.
And this is affecting the race and the positions, and now the leader stays in and white cars stay in, and everybody else gets booted. There's going to be a lot of pissed off people over this.
And here we go. Guy Petra now is in the 16 car again.
He handled that well. I mean, you have damage control. You got to be calm when you're in the car, but normally it's like you spin or you get wrecked, and that's stuff that happens. But this server stuff is really bogus. So good thing is we didn't get any damage off that, so our car is still pristine and clean. The question is, what about these other cars? Did they get reset too, or do they still? Apparently, they still have the damage they had. So
it looks like damage was sustained, like it wasn't wiped off.
Because that's our ace in the hole with that car right now, is we've kept it clean, And with this happening already 3 times, there's a good chance it could happen again.
Well, it's a really tough break for you guys when 90% of the field gets disconnected, but the race leader's not one of them.
And they gain 2 laps on you.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Man, look at that. Randall Sherritt running a 139.
You stayed in, so you're seeing on your screen. You're seeing you'll see all the dirt and stuff on the car. On mine, it looks brand new.
Yeah, we saw the damage in the dirt and oil.
Randall with that 139.8 just flying out there.
And he still has a little front clip damage on the right front. And like I said, he is a real big time stud. And he's showing it right now. moving that car back up.
Let's see if he can make the move into turn 1. That guy has to back off. There we go.
And that's 14th for them. I don't know if they lost a lap. I don't think so. I think they dodged a bullet. They didn't get simulated towed like the 01 did.
And here we are back on the 002 Jim Ray in this car. Looks like a wide open track for him. 145 his last lap time.
Yeah, Jim is a wheel man, you know. Retired from FSB day-to-day operations, and this is what he's doing now. Team manager and hell of a driver. Shout out to his wife. He's been sick today, so he's had to multitask running the teams, driving and taking care of the kids, but nothing he's not used to.
Oh, a tough break for all of our teams. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, and the leader just got more laps. Now we're like, yeah.
Maybe they'll get disconnected with 5 laps to go.
That's okay. I'll say it officially on the broadcast. I will be contacting Steve Meyer and asking him what up. And do we get our $10 back for all this month for everybody? I spent a month preparing for this race.
Absolutely.
And it just, it's not a good thing that the leader doesn't get booted, but everybody else does. That's smelly.
Looks like we're joined in the lounge by Jim Christopherson, Rich Hallstedt. You know, hell of a broadcast that you did last night, Mill. I was in a different room.
Oh, thanks.
I was in a different room with Sammy watching it and saw, you know, we really thought Sean or Jim was going to pull off the win, and ended up Rick Johnson had the fuel to bring it home. Jim, how close were you on fuel last night?
You know what? Ninth, so I think it is. I'll probably get back off.
Wow.
Wow.
We knew it was going to be close, man, but Rick Johnson, the master of clutching, I mean, he fooled me. I couldn't tell. He was so smooth at it, and it's not easy.
Yeah, I had no idea that he was as good as he was. He must have been clutching for quite a while.
And here we are back on Randall Sheridan at 003, still running 140s. He's been in that car for a while now. I feel like he's been in there since we started broadcasting. He hasn't lost a step. He is setting the pace out there.
I'm seeing on my screen position 32 for Jim Ray, but it's showing on his car 22. That's just bizarre.
Well, I think I think you guys, that car is 22nd in your class. 32nd overall, 22nd in your class.
I gotcha.
But yeah, Randall, one hell of a wheel man here tonight.
This is Kenny from Team Free. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hey, Kenny.
Yeah, after the server crash, we decided to just keep Randall in the car. He was one of the first people to get reconnected. As he is one of our faster drivers, we figure that he can make up the time. We just taken over 12th position, and we actually lost 2 laps and 2 positions when the server went down.
Okay, so all 3 of our cars lost 2 laps.
So
everybody lost 2 laps to the leader. Shit.
So we're taking our schedule and he's going to run this, so he'll run 3 stints rather than 2, and we're pushing all the rest of our stints back by 45 minutes that he's running now.
Now, Kenny, we can see a little bit of front left nose damage on that 3 car. Is it affecting you guys much?
No, there's a little bit of with this particular car that sometimes it will render with damage, even though it's not. We haven't been able to figure out what the deal is with that, but it hasn't been a problem. Most of the damage on the nose is courtesy of myself from the first lap and getting into the tire barrier. But the car's been running solid all day. We haven't had really any problems with it. The repairs have gone really well. We've got it fixed, and we just keep going. I can't say enough good things about the guys on the team. They've just been doing an outstanding job.
Oh, he just got the wall right there.
I think he missed it. It was close.
I think he missed it. It was close. Right there in that corner, as you guys can see all the garbage and the marble building up. If you get the slightest bit out of the groove, the tires just get caked and you've got virtually no control.
There's no grip out there, huh? Look at that gaggle right now, gee whiz. Got to find his way through those marks and floor cars left.
Hopefully he gets a good run to get a clean T1.
Now, Kenny, you're the FSB iRacing sponsor, correct? Beeline Sim?
Yes, I am. Gives me a good chance to race.
Well, I mean, no problem. Go ahead and tell us what is Beeline Sim.
We make custom components for sim racers. Tends to be focused on the oval track community, even though this is a road race. There's lots of aftermarket stuff that is very focused on road racing. But when I was doing a lot of circle track stuff, I noticed that there's very little for actually the oval track racers. So at beelinesim.com, you can see I've got a product called the Death Dash, which leverages the Sim Projects Pro Gauge, gauges from Marshall Instruments, and it's all combined into basically a predefined desktop unit. So you've got a tachometer, you've got fuel, you've got oil pressure, oil temperature, and water temperature, all right there on your desktop, and it's just plug and play, USB.
There's some great button boxes too. I got one.
Then it's got a button box. Jim Ray's got one of the wheels. There's a couple other guys in the league that have some equipment.
So there you have it.
Set all kinds of stuff with that too. Label them and stuff if you want. It's really cool.
Be sure to check out beelinesim.com. For some of you watching, you might be wondering, Pony Express Broadcasting, we always do a Veterans Tribute in the middle point of any race that we broadcast. Obviously, we joined this race at the 12-hour point, so that would have been the middle. We're obviously not going to do a Veterans Tribute tonight. But, as always, we do thank all of the veterans out there and for their service. And we actually have a veteran in the lounge hanging out with us right now. So we want to say thanks to Rich Hallstead for his service.
Absolutely, Rich.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hats off, sir. And Kenny Paul, I want to thank you, too, for all your good work you've done and help support this series and keeping this endurance series going for us, and the painting and everything you do, man. You do a lot for us.
Oh, no problem. I've been a member of FSB for quite a while now, and this league is just really one of the best out there in terms of the quality of drivers and the way the league is managed and run. Very happy to be a part of it, and very happy to be able to paint the cars, and that you guys basically accept the sponsorship. I think that's it's mutually benefits both of us.
Speaking of paints, here's a better view of that 002 car, the Beeline Sim paint job on there. I cannot, for the life of me, figure out why I can't see the Beeline Sim paint job on all three cars.
That happens to some of the drivers too. We're not sure what that glitch is.
Yeah, I've been out of iRacing for 2 years now, so I'm out of the loop.
Yeah, unless you didn't download all three cars.
There is with the team cars. There's
it's on Trading Paints, right?
Yeah, they're on Trading Paints. With the team cars, there's some deal that if you're not logged in, I don't know. Earlier today, I wasn't seeing the paints, and then suddenly they popped up when I reconnected to the server.
That BMW spun right behind Jim there, real close.
Yeah, I have Trading Paints, and I'm running Trading Paints, and you know, all night I haven't been able to see any of the paint jobs on any of the three cars. And then after that last server disconnect, when Jim Ray popped on and got in that 002 car, I can now see the paint on that car, but I still can't see it on the other ones. And so, like you were saying, I wonder if the drivers have to be running Trading Paint for their car to show up.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
But our boys are out here tonight representing. I love it, man. And you were mentioning before about this, the uniqueness of our league. Our league is the only league out there that I know of that is completely sportsmanship based. I mean, we do not tolerate anything unsportsmanlike in our league whatsoever. And that puts up for a great class of guys and a great class of drivers all in the same place.
Not only that,
Absolutely,
but I'm kind of active in the community, or at least I pay a lot of attention to the community, and every once in a while I'll see people asking questions about the GTP mod, and I always tell them, I was like, just go to FSB and ask your GTP questions, because FSB is the only league that I know of that runs GTP
on a regular scheduled basis. Now there is one Brazilian league that's running. They run 1 or 2 races a year, but no, we are the only GTP ones out there. And GTP is still a great mod to race. A lot of people love that mod. Yep, they can always come to FSB and ask us, and we'll probably have some answers. I know that Guy Crane for sure will be able to answer most of our questions.
I sometimes I wonder if Guy didn't write half of the code for GTP.
I'm wondering myself.
I sadly came in a few years late to the party. But actually, I know the race won't be taking place tomorrow, but I had created a topic in the forum for it with information in the track download if anybody's interested.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, I was unable to get that track loaded onto the server. I have to actually ask the owner of RaceLM to do that, and I sent him an email to him. He didn't respond. I don't know whether he didn't get it or what, and now Guy reminded me today that we do have low support tomorrow. We will not be in that race.
Here's a question. I know Jim Christopherson is a hell of an oval driver. Jim, what's your opinion on road courses?
I love road courses. Actually, I raced iRacing for quite a number of years. One of the early pioneer testers. Didn't have a computer to run it as successful as I wanted to. Still probably have a need for my ratings.
Well, that Jim Christopherson guy just happened to win in Finion last week in the Cup Series, so FSB Cup Series Monday night. So yeah, he knows how to run those road courses, I'm thinking.
I'd probably be in GTP except I can't get the mod to work. I'm having problems with the mod.
See, lucky for me, I was back when we were using the Mike Baker program. I was able to get GTP installed just with the click of a single button off of that program. If I had to do it now, I'd probably be able to figure it out.
Yeah, you have to install a separate. There's instructions in the GTP on the GTP page on our homepage. You have to install a separate disk or reinstall the disk in a separate C drive folder and follow those instructions explicitly. And but it is difficult. It runs separate from all the other mods, so it can't be loaded onto the same TAPI NASCAR 2003 in your C drive as all the other mods. It has to be a total separate install, as if you're reinstalling the game again.
Yeah, the reason is that it's the only mod that they're actually able to edit the executable files, so it has different physics than the ones that the game ships with, that they have the 4 different physics. So you either have to have a NASCAR Racing install that doesn't have anything else on it, like no other mods, so you don't run the risk of any conflicts, or you have a separate install with the GTP.
Now we do have the Mike Baker GTP Lite. Does that install it?
I haven't used it. What I've actually done is I've installed NASCAR Racing, and then what I did is there's a little program called GTP Easy Install from the US Bits. I ran that, so basically I have in my Papyrus folder, I have one is called NASCAR Racing 2003 and the other is called GTP, which mirrors the NASCAR Racing installation, but then the GTP mod is installed on that part.
Yeah, that's how I got it, was the Mike Baker. I told Jim, I was like, hey, I want to try out this GTP, and he was like, well, open up the Mike Baker program and click install, and I did, and that was it. It worked. I have a folder. It's called GTP Lite, and it's its own separate install.
Hey, sorry guys, this is Jim. I did hear everything you said. I just had problems with the mic back.
Yeah,
But,
your mic's kind of quiet. Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody could get you into the GTP mod, it would be Guy. He knows a lot.
Yep, he's our premier tech guru for this series for sure.
I pasted a link on TeamSpeak for the topic where I have the information.
Oh, good stuff, Guy. And for those unfamiliar with it, the original NASCAR 2003 game came with simulation game, whatever you want to call it. Came with only a Cup mod. It was the standard mod that came within about a year. It was opened up, and people were allowed to rearrange code a little bit, and they created 3 other mods from that at that point, and that was the Trans Am mod, the Grand National mod, and the Truck mod, CTS mod. And from there, somebody went off and built this GTP mod from Redline. What was it, Redline?
Yeah, Redline GTP.
Redline GTP, and created an extraordinary mod of basically cars just like this for the NASCAR 2003 game, and people swear by this. This is just as good still today as the iRacing GTP.
Well, and the cool thing about GTP is all 4 car makes in that game. All 4 of them have completely different physics.
What are they, the 4 mods, the 4 physics?
We have the Toyota 88C, we have the Jaguar XJR9, we have the Sauber Mercedes C9, and the Mazda 787B.
And depending on what track you're running at, all of them can, one or the other could be faster.
Yep. And actually I talked to someone from Team Redline, and they were planning on doing a Porsche 962, but there was a limit of 4 cars, so they couldn't create a 5th car.
Hey, Guy Pitcher's doing a hell of a job here with all that server stuff. Got it back in control. Really proud of all my teammates on the 16 car. And we just got to keep going at this pace. Our real goal was a top 10, and we're
knocking on the door.
Knocking on the door already. So maybe we need to think about maybe trying for a top 5. But you know, these races are so long. Still 8 hours 44 minutes left of this race, so a lot can happen. But
back over to the 003 car, Randall still running 140s. Just he has not let off.
You just see what could have been with that car, and but that's the way this racing is. And just like Sam was talking about the sportsmanship, also as our iRacing teams, we support each other, and we don't, you know, we all realize we can write the car off. It looks so easy just watching these guys drive around. Every lap is an adventure.
And here we go, Randall putting a pass on Jim Ray.
Yeah, Jim's gonna let that happen. He knows he's faster, and that's a team car, so he's gonna make it real easy for him, and he does. Lets off early, just like Guy was talking about racing etiquette or racing craft. Those are little things you can do, like, and Guy notices, like when he sees a GT car not doing that, it makes it much more difficult and a possibility for everybody to crash, you know.
And it's infuriating too.
The leader's just clicking off laps, and they're not running real fast. They're in the lead, and they got a huge lead. So,
well, they got a huge lead because the server keeps crashing everybody but them.
So I mean, he's running 42s, and Randall's running 2 seconds a lap faster.
How many laps have they been out? Maybe they're at the end of the stint.
That could be too, yeah.
Or they could be double running the tires.
And here we go. This is the race leader, the number 4 car. He is 1 lap ahead of second place. They are on lap number 536.
We kicked that around, and it's just not beneficial. But you got the possibility of going down to like 70%, 75% tire wear at the end of your second run if you double stint. It's just too, even though you're out lap after your first stint, it'd probably be quicker. It's just really was risky, and all 3 teams decided against it. Some guys in practice were, you know, getting 85% at the end of a double stint, but that's best case scenario that's just driving by yourself when you got all this activity to do and all these cars to go around. You're gonna lock the brakes up eventually.
Yeah. And great job with it tonight with our live watchers, because right now we're at 13 watching us live, and that's really good stuff right there. Good job, everybody. I'm glad you joined us and help support Pony Express Broadcast Network and our FSB Racing deal here.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for coming out, guys and gals.
And Milt, who's up next? Who's up next in the chute after Guy in the 16 is going to be Larry Krupp, right?
Yes, sir, Larry Krupp. The Krupster, and he's been running great stints and running in the 40s and 41s, almost like Randall. So we expect the car to start to move up a little bit.
And then what about the 002 and 003? Who's coming up in those cars?
Ooh, that's a good question. That I don't know offhand. Let me take a look at the spreadsheet.
And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a spreadsheet to coordinate all this, and Jim Ray has done a fantastic job of that, coordinating all the drivers, because this takes drivers driving 2, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 stints each, and then taking a nap or spotting, and it's a big team effort. I mean, I don't know how many we've got out here tonight, but I think it's close to 14. guys that are out running for representing for FSB tonight. It's just awesome. I'm just so proud of you guys, and so thankful you guys got together to do this. And like I say, big hats off to Jim Ray for a lot of work to put this together so we could have a shot at this thing. And somebody mentioned before, we were looking for that top 10 in these things, and nah, we're really looking for P1, guys. We want that number 1, and we're going to keep working at it till we get it.
Oh, absolutely. But we try to be humble, you know. I mean, and these are the best road racers in the world.
They sure are.
According to the sheet here, the times are off now, but I do believe it'll be the Australian Dean Grogan will be next, and then Todd Larrabee, and then Steve Jones from the UK should be running a triple stint, and then Ken Soska will finish out the race. But they've had damage in pit time, so that will probably eliminate Ken's run at the end. And we talked to Kenny there. The 003 triple stinting with Randall, so that's going to shoot that one off.
Well, Chad Curran just texted out that Greg is next. Greg Bernardo's next in the 003.
Oh, 10-4.
So there we go. That's what I was wondering, was when I was going to get to see the voice of FSB in the car.
He was in the last time I was in, and my teammates were giving me crap. Well, you can't let Greg pull away from you. And
I heard something. They were ribbing me about that.
They were ribbing me about it, and I did run my fastest lap times, but Greg was running right about the same lap times as me, about 41s and 42s, and running clean. And I did get caught a couple times. Okay, we got a poke from Ken Soska, and changes in the 03. In the 03, Jim jumped in with cervical. Oh, Todd Larrabee next for the 003. I'm a little confused. Jim's not. He's in the 002, so they must be watching the broadcast too and listening to us. I forgot what I was talking about.
I might have missed it earlier, guys. I apologize if I did, but can someone kind of explain the format? This whole process is kind of new to me as far as this 24-hour stuff. You guys got 3 cars running then?
Yeah, we have 3 cars, 15 drivers, and it took quite a bit of work to line up the iRatings of the 3 guys that registered and qualified the cars to be close, because the splits, there's probably like 5 or 6 splits, or maybe more. There's depending if there's like 500 to 700 iRacers, and you got 56 cars a split. You know, you could have up to 10, 12 splits.
Splits, in case you guys are wondering out there, is basically running simultaneous races alongside of us right now. So there's about 5 or 6 more races going on just like this. So you have, like Milt said, 56 cars in each one. They're bringing out the best road racers in the world for this thing. Believe me, they're out there. And this is who you're competing against, the very best in the world in sim racing. And this includes real race car drivers, believe me.
AJ Allmendinger was in our race last year, and then the week after had a chance to win the real Daytona 24. He was leading it at the halfway point. So and we rubbed fenders with him a few times.
I'm gonna give you guys some real numbers right here. There are 13 splits for this race. I'm looking at them right now. 13 simultaneous Daytona 24 hours going on. All of them ranging from 155 to 217 drivers in the server.
What keeps the individual teams together? I mean, we got 3 teams. Are all of them comparable I-rated, or are they just automatically as part of a team get to race the same split?
We register. One guy registers the car, and then the other drivers come in that car, and then they are registered in that car for the remainder of the race.
Got it.
So we figured this out. We have 728 cars and then you add up probably through 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 drivers per car. That's a lot of people.
And the splits range from the lowest I ratings to the highest, and we're probably right in the middle somewhere. Maybe you could find out, Mark, if you being there, what skill level split we're in. But it'd be pretty far up there, at least in the middle, I would say.
I can, yeah. I'll pull that back up.
I want to throw it out there, Mark, that a fellow by the name of Tyler Burgett just texted you and said he's here, Mark. I don't know who that is.
He's from over at Bomb Squad Racing.
Oh, welcome there, Tyler.
Hey, all right, Tyler. Yeah, that's right. Racing against him in the Polar Bear 500.
He's in the squad.
Heck of a nice guys, and it's so cool that the racing community is coming together and on Facebook and supporting each other.
Yeah, I want to thank you for that, Mel, because you just set me up. I'm not the greatest Facebook guy. I'm working on it, trying to get better at it, but you introduced me to these guys through the new 2003 Facebook page, and Bomb Squad and East Coast Thunder have been very, very, these two great leads that have been very,
also.
Been very, very, very welcoming to have us join them and be part of their community, and we're all part of the same community, and our 2003 is a large community of racers, and if you think about the age of this game, or the simulation, as you want to call it, either one, I like to think of it as sim. That's something that says something about this what we created here. So it's just awesome having all these leagues together and chatting to each other, and maybe we'll get some interleague racing going.
Yeah, special events, stuff like that. And this is a sim. A game is PlayStation. This is a simulation.
So I was just crunching numbers here, and with the 13 splits, there are over 2,200 drivers running the 24 hours of Daytona.
Absolutely amazing.
So yeah, over 2,200 drivers. There's probably another 1,000 people spectating. And so that's probably partly to blame for the server crashes that we've seen.
I have some.
That's not a very high load though.
Somebody said the FSB, Tyler said the FSB Corvette looks like it could use a quick wash. Yeah, sometimes you see the paint go away, you see the paint go away, and you see dirt spots on the car when the paint comes back.
That's from Trading Paints, this complicated program that runs with the game so that people from all over the place can see their paints are loaded into this program, and then everybody gets to see the paints without having to download the cars personally.
Now, Shad Curran did say that in 4 laps, which probably 3 laps now, Bernardo is up in 003, and Tyler wants to know, did Mitch already run?
Did who?
Mitch already run.
He means Milt. Yeah,
oh,
Milt.
Oh, Milt, okay.
Yeah, everybody in the community knows Milt. Milt's his color commentary, it's earned him quite the fame.
I've run 3 stints, 3 double stints, and I've got probably 2 more to go. I think the last one's going to be deleted, which means I'll get to drink beer early.
Milt, that will be at about 5 a.m. tomorrow for your time.
Yeah, I've been up since 5 a.m.
So the beer clock doesn't really matter.
Nah, I've got the beer in the fridge, so I don't have to worry about the liquor store.
And here we go. We've switched over to the 003 car. Randall's still laying down laps and passing cars left and right. He is about to pit though, and we're going to see the voice of FSB get out here on the track, Greg Bernardo.
He's put a lot of time in, and like all these guys, also the 16 car, our number 1 car, the yellow and black Bumblebee E-Line sim car with Guy Mitra is due in probably 4 or 5 laps. He will stay in the car and just do tires and fuel.
speaking of Greg Bernardo, he's not only just the voice of FSB, he has turned out to be one heck of a road course racer. I mean, he has studied and worked and practiced and just developed his craft, and my hat's off to him and all you announcers for all you do for FSB and other leagues. I mean, you're out there doing a lot of work out there, Mark Dillon, and working with other leagues, and it helps us all, it helps this community. Like I said, I just can't get enough of it. I'm super excited about this season and where this direction is and where we're heading, and a lot of it is on you guys. A lot of it is what you, Milty, and Greg Bernardo have all been doing, including all our league members out there who are really pushing the series and pushing the leagues. Just a great job, guys. I can't say enough about it, so I'll shut up.
Speaking of
we're getting 30-car fields on Friday night at Homestead. That was
we're getting 30 almost everywhere now.
Awesome, exciting race at the end. Fuel mileage race, green flag stops. What more can you ask for?
Speaking of broadcast, Milt, now that the chicken run is 30 minutes later, you gonna start popping in on Tuesday nights?
For the broadcast?
Yes,
racing.
The next chicken run broadcast, Sam already laid down the gauntlet. He said he's gonna win a broadcast race.
And I will be out there for that one.
Definitely might have to do that. Definitely.
I think it's.
See how long it takes to recover from this.
I have never won a broadcast race, and I will.
Me neither.
I think it's February 21st at Michigan.
That kind of track.
Okay.
They haven't seen Old Smoke on the track this season yet, but he's coming out.
Yeah, I can't wait till you get your pedals back, because I know what it's like when you can't race for a while. You get chomping at the bit. But it's like riding the
sorely
bike.
missed not racing tonight.
Yeah. We definitely, if we'd have had you, we'd have had 4 cars with 4 drivers in the car instead of 5. But we just couldn't. We didn't want to go with a 3-car team. Just too much. Need a break, you know.
And here we go. The 003 is about to hit pit road. Next time by next time.
Right, picture looking at 3 laps left. Beautiful Chevrolet Corvette C7. Brake lights on. Just right on the edge there. Like a machine. Positioning that car just right. I run some pretty good laps, and best I could do so far in the race is like a 41. For these guys that be running 39s and 40s, they're nailing every corner.
The rubber buildup.
And plus you got a lot of buildup and marbles and GT cars to deal with.
Yeah, this simulation racing now actually, you can actually lay rubber down on a track, and it does absolutely dramatically affect the adhesion of the tires during the course of the race, and you can actually get faster lap times towards the end of the race than you did when you first started. So it's really cool how Steve Myers and his crew have worked on the dynamics of iRacing and all that they've done. It is a true simulation. They really work hard at making a simulation. I know I busted on them a little bit earlier about losing the server. You know, servers. You know, this is the internet. You can't predict what's going to happen or what's going to happen with technical difficulties, especially with servers and stuff. But they do a fantastic
job. Sticking up for our team, you know.
Hey,
you're emotionally involved, so you're in. You know, you get like that. You should hear me when I'm driving on our team channel. I'm cussing at these guys. Get the F out of the way. What the hell is that guy doing? You see that crap? He just cut my nose off. You know, I mean,
and Greg is him. I'm sorry, not Greg. That's Guy Petra.
Guy Petra got penalized for cutting the chicane. He had to slow down and give give up 5 seconds as slowdown penalty.
There we go. We watched Randall hit pit road. He's doing a driver swap with Greg Bernardo, and now we're over in the gyro camera with the number 1 FSB entry. Who's in there right now?
That's Guy Peters.
The gyro camera. That's gyro.
That's the gyro.
Camera.
Yep.
That's the guy camera.
I'm a member of this car, so I can see all the technical readout data. He's showing 1.7 laps right here. So as long as you're at 1.2 when you get to the start-finish line, you have enough fuel. So it looks like he's going to go one more lap. As he's at 1.5 right there. So he will be pitting next lap.
Not much windshield buildup on his car. You guys get tear-offs every time you go in?
Yeah, you get tear-offs every time. It gets hazy and get a
couple little chunks of rubber on there.
Yeah, and if you guys will look at your screen, you'll see a couple little chunks. They look like a little like bugs maybe splattering on the windshield there.
It's really bad, like when you're running a day track, like a spa, and you hit an area where the sun shines right in there. It definitely gets your attention.
Now, Mil, I see the windshield wiper on there. Can you actually run these cars in the rain, and does that work?
Not yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if iRacing is thinking of that in the future. But that's just like as they went to night racing, there was, bugs they had to deal with the, dealing with the graphics. iRacing tries to give you as much eye candy, but also still make it runnable. So I'm sure they're working on all kinds of stuff like that.
And that's one of the reasons why the move to DirectX 11 helps, is because it makes it more efficient processing, for example, shadows and renderings, so it reduces the load on the computers. The only downside with it is that DirectX is connected to the Windows versions you have, so you have to be on Windows 7 or higher.
And here we go, Greg Bernardo out there in the 003. He is running training paints, and so now we can see that Beeline Sim paint job on the 002 and the 003.
Cold tires, and Guy Pitcher is on pit road. He will stay in the car. Fuel and tires.
How long are the driver's stints there, Mil?
The double stint is about 50 minutes, so it's about 28 laps, so probably about 50 minutes per stint.
How many laps? Have we run so far?
535 for Guy Pitcher for the 001 car, or 16 because another car came in before us and took that number.
To put that into perspective, guys, the Daytona 500, which is an
the car
track,
behind him hit the wall.
will be 200 laps. That's just the oval track regular cup race. Is 200 laps. That just puts it in perspective. This is a road course, and they've ridden almost 600 laps so far. So that's just phenomenal. And we were talking a minute ago about the graphic trade-offs.
And that's 3.56 miles, so you do the math. We've already run almost 1,600 miles here.
So Bernardo comes out of the chute, cold tires, runs a 143. Awesome lap.
Guy took it easy, and the car behind him did not, out of pit road, and that pit road exit is murder, and he just creamed the crap out of that car. You're gonna be so grandma when you get out of that pit road. In first gear, just ba 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 ba.
Yep, each driver does 2 stints, and that's 1.5 hours of work, Chad. Thanks, Chad.
And so it's about 45 minutes per stint.
But again, about the graphics trade-off, I mean, that's been the big issue. And we all love the eye candy now, the cool headlights and tail lights and all that stuff, but unfortunately that will play havoc with many computer systems. But these guys have done a great job at iRacing of providing us with the eye candy and still providing us with performance. NASCAR 2003, it's pretty much maxed out. I mean, they really can't make them any more difficult. So they're easy to run. They're easy on our machines, but this can be tough on a machine. And like you guys were saying, you must forget about XP. You can't run this in XP anymore. Or Vista. Don't go Vista.
God, no.
I can tell you, I had to turn my heater off. My graphics card is getting very hot.
First-hand experience. I ran a lot of iRacing and finally did it. So I couldn't run it anymore.
Oh, you kind of faded out there, Jim. Your mic.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you.
This is a great racing. I really like the cones with the reflective material on them. I think that's too cool. Dougie was telling me down there in Team 1 channel that when you knock some of those cones over, there's a little official that comes out there and goes out and places them back up for us.
So Milt, we're in,
mind, Sebastian. I'm fitting in this lap, so.
Milt, we're in the cockpit with Greg Bernardo. Why don't you, we're coming around to the start-finish line. Go ahead and take the viewers through a lap around Daytona Road Course.
Let me find him. And cockpit. Live. They just going onto the banking. That's after the bug stop. This is your highest speed area, up to about 189 miles an hour in the draft. As you see the speed coming up, it's over 180. 6th gear. Kind of go out wide here and look at that inside apex. Oh, he broke really late right there. Nice. Outside in. 2nd gear. Looks like he went to 1st that time. 4th gear, down 2 gears here, outside in. Just want to crest the International Horseshoe here. That's what this is called. Out to the outside. Now you come to the kink right here. Gonna lift a little right there. Breathe it. It's short shifted. Down 3 gears. He's going down the 1st gear here. Well, and 1st and 2nd gear in our setup is really close. Down the 2nd gear, way wide right there. He's really hauling the mail here. You got to make sure it's pointed straight. You get wheel spin right there. You take a little breath here, look in your mirrors. You got to pick when time to look. Maybe move around a little bit. Now you got to pick up the 2 marker here. 3, 2, and just after the 2, hard on the brakes in the straight line. Apex that inside, drift out, inside lift, and nail it. 3rd gear, 4th, 5th. 5th gear up about 170 miles an hour. 6th gear. Recognize you got a couple GT cars coming up to you, and a car on the inside there, one of the lead cars.
And we see Greg running
going on here.
Running 142s.
Yeah, and that's fine, and that's in good control. You really get wheel spin coming out there.
And here we are, now we're back over on the 16 car. Guy Petra still running that car. Larry will be up next. Guy Petra, heavy traffic in front of him.
He had to breeze it there a little bit. following and you get in the draft, you got a couple miles an hour. You got a lot of times you want to brake a little earlier than your normal braking point, just in case, and you can always let it roll a little and get back on the brake. Got a gaggle of beat up GT cars here. Look, dealing with here. This is a crapshoot coming up to these guys.
Hey, Guy Shad said you're a natural in the broadcast booth.
I still have a long way to go until I match up to Milt Murray Walker Minter Jr. Or James Hunt. It's more like James Hunt, I would say. Especially off the track.
Oh, and it looks like we've got a new driver in the 002, Todd Larrabee. Jim Ray back in the booth with us.
Todd's a stud. He should start. He's running 140s, no problem.
Hey guys, yeah, Todd started for us the day off, and he's coming back to run a few hours through the night with us. So he's back in after that disconnect. The car was just sitting there idle on pit road, and no one was able to hop in right away because his D was reconnected. So I just jumped in real quick and ran a quick stint. Split us up, change a little strategy, but we're still, as long as that thing keeps moving, it cannot sit on pit road. It's one place it can't sit is on pit road.
So we had some pretty horrendous server crashes there, huh, Jim?
Yeah, it's about the fourth one. It's real selective. It'll take a group of drivers and boot them, not everybody. So yeah, there's 700 teams, 13 servers of whatever, 60 a pop. They're not doing well today. But surprisingly, it should be all the guys ahead of us that are getting disco, but it's just not happening. So.
Yeah, no kidding.
That would be nice.
The race leader was one of the only ones who didn't get disconnected.
Great battle for the lead up front, though. The 15 car had a nice lead of a lap or more, and they ran it off a couple times, got beat, and then right in front of us, it looked like they unlapped themselves to get on the same lap. Is that right? No. They had another problem. All right, WSU is now 2 laps up.
Well, what a way to represent, Jim. A lot of work you put into this thing, and just awesome deal, man. Thank you for all your help in putting this together and representing for FSB Racing.
No problem. I like to build up, I like the setup, and if you can show a spreadsheet on there, if you can show anything other than the game, you can give a glimpse of how we try and organize this. It's pretty funny.
Well, you did a good job getting everybody in the same split. That's for dang sure. 13 splits. Good job.
Thank you. Got that part figured out now.
Hopefully I'll be out in the next one.
Yeah, I don't know what the schedule is. Maybe Sebring. One of them is up next, but there's
Said
one
the
every
Glen.
other month. Oh, the Glen? All right.
Somebody said 6 hours Glen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was just guessing there, but it probably is.
Find out.
Because they mirror the real tracks they run, so it's probably Sebring. Now that you mention it. That's only 12 hours.
Yeah.
You need to set up a car for the crappy road course racers.
That would be me.
That would be me.
Yep. We'll have them for anybody who wants. We have Sebring 12 hours in March. Nürburgring 24 hours, which will be skipped in April.
Yeah.
And then they do Indy 500, which is individual. Then the other team races are 24-hour Le Mans in June. 6 hours of the Glen in June. Spa 24 hours in July. 500 kilometers of Road America in August. Heat Le Mans at Road Atlanta in September. And then the Bathurst, Bathhouse 1000 in October that we're probably not going to make though. One of those is getting the Nissan though. The 500 km of Road America is the Nissan 1990.
Yeah, well,
TX.
I'd definitely love to run one of these with that car. That's really in my wheelhouse for sure. Love that car.
No traction control on that one.
It's your foot. That's it.
Yeah. Yep. So they mix up the cars. We run the Audi. Some of the races will just be GT cars, so we would run like the Audi or something. We did that last time.
Trying to get me a cup of coffee, and I'll be back.
Well, the broadcast is awesome. I mean, the eye candy, and it's not stuttering at all. Mark Dillon's got this thing down. It's just an awesome broadcast, Bob.
Cool.
And someone called me Kimi Räikkönen, so going
Yeah,
great
so-
for
so
me as well.
So it's Guy Kimi, Kramer.
Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, apparently our car's still pretty good, because Todd can knock out fast laps like that. I'm a couple seconds slower than when we started. Here's a little level. It's like a super speedway setup. You don't have to turn on the super speedway because it's already, the wheels are already jerked to the left. Just to keep it straight off pit road is pretty fun. Todd is bad fast. What's going on with the one car? Going 11th.
I think Greg is doing good.
Guys in the one car with a car a lap ahead of him and a lap behind him.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, it's that guy.
That's okay.
But we do have Shad getting ready to jump in for Greg. And Greg did a great job.
Glancing at the schedule for the one car to see how close they are. They've already saved enough fuel for one stint, more than what we projected, so we'll see if they can get another one. One less pit stop, well, you know, like we were saying, save you almost 45 seconds.
Now, how are we saving fuel, Jim?
Well, it's just based on our calculations. If you can stretch it an extra lap, you're going to save another minute and 40 seconds and you can stay out longer, because it's a little confusing because you're racing time and not laps. You got to count for both. Like, yay, I can get 28 laps. Well, someone who's a little bit slower is going to take them longer to do it. They're going to be out on the track longer, so they'll get better. A slower car definitely gets better, quote, mileage, I guess you'd say, to stay on the track longer. But the minimum these things will get is 45 minutes, so that's what we set our schedule at, so people know when to come back. Like, you're on at 10:30, you're on 11:15, 12, you know, down the line. And then, but if you go over that 45 minutes, and that pushes everything back, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is, especially if you beat it up, and you're on pit road for 15 minutes out of your 45-minute stint, you don't want to jack it up too bad because somebody's coming home from work that needs to be on at a certain time. So you're trying to juggle all that as it's going on. We set it up to be an ultra competitive car with no issues. It's going to run this fast for this long. And we're going to estimate that. And then you kind of backfill as things go wrong.
They never do, they, Jim?
Never. Only from the parade lap to after the checkers, somewhere in between. Getting them logged in is tricky. They kind of have some weird ways to connect that could be better, but now that we've been doing this for so long, we have a real, nobody gets in the wrong car or anything like that.
Hey,
it's well done. Yeah, it could be. We paint them so different. A lot of luck. Guessed right a couple. Of my 9 lives in this race, I probably only had to use 3 maybe so far, where I got lucky and guessed right.
That one stint I was in, I missed 4 big crashes. My first stint, I was so lucky. That big crash coming out of the bus stop, I just slowed way down. Then the last stint, when the server crashed, came back up, and for a second it gave me that 8-second penalty. I couldn't get down to the apron coming out onto the banking, and cars were flying, almost hit me dead right in the rear, just missed me. I was just a sitting duck trying to stay up against the wall.
Now we have 3 different chassis types out here tonight, right?
Yes.
So how does that work, Jim? Do they actually, these guys, well, one's a GT car, that division right there will have their own winner?
Yes. So multi-class racing, the standings while we're in here will show, you can break it down by class or by field. It's pretty, you can tell in real time where you are. Yes, so 2 complete different winners. It's almost like we're not even racing against each other. We are not racing against each other. We're just on the track at the same time.
It's traffic.
Yeah, it is. Those 2 cars, the Audi and the Mercedes, are built to run equal in the same class, just like your NASCAR, Ford, Chevy, Toyota.
Whoa!
Whereas the Vet here is all by itself in its own class. There are a lot more GT cars than Vets, so if you look at the last couple splits, they are just filled with the GT cars. So what they used to do is they would stretch it out to where you had maybe 10 or 15 Vets in each race, and then 40 GT cars. So then they said, well, we want to race against more than 10, Vets, so they push those forward. They break open they break their splits up a little differently for each class to make sure that each one is full. If there is 2 cars in there, there's going to be full of 2 cars. We ran Le Mans with the HPD car, which is the faster one than the GTs, and so many people did the same thing that we ended up in the last split with just 40-something HPD cars, no GT cars to chase. And having these rolling chicanes out there that people can wreck into help us slow them down.
And we do have another squad member, Bomb Squad Racing. Pockets has joined us. Welcome, Pockets.
Hey, what's up, Pockets?
Yeah, he was
the man there.
He was giving a shout out to you, Milty.
Oh, we just had a spin off there.
Oh boy, that's
good job saving it. No damage, and he gets back on safely. Good job. I don't know who's in our blue car. I'm watching the blue car.
Very easy to just miss the apex on that corner because you can approach it either by coming in tight or coming in wide. But whatever angle, if you just touch the throttle or anything to upset the balance of the car, the load just sends you around and you're just a passenger.
This thing's doing something weird because whatever we did damage-wise to it, it's like shredding the right rear. We're getting like total tire wear on the right rear and no tire wear on the rest of our tires. I've never seen it before, so
that's probably, it's like you were saying, it was pulling to the left a little bit.
Yeah, so the tires are making up the difference. And then with 5 to go, yeah, it's very weird. You'll be doing the same thing and turn one over and over and over, then it'll just snap. They fix them, man. When we ran the red line GTP for 24 hours, the game would find a reason to boot you, grind your gears off, disconnect you or whatever. This thing's kind of the opposite, where you can destroy it. And if you wait on pit road long enough, they'll fix it, and it'll be really close to what you started the race with, which isn't really realistic, but you signed up for a 24-hour race. It's nice if you have a pretty good opportunity to still run, even if your car's.
Pockets is asking how FSB's doing here. And we can do a quick rundown of our positions of our cars.
Yeah, it looks like we're running 11th, 14th, and 28th out of the full 56 car field. Obviously, the 11th and 14th are by class. I want to say the third car is about 21st in the class.
Yep.
So 11, 14, and 21. And there's, how many cars are in the class? 25?
How many started? Let me see.
Yeah, with a couple server issues that have hurt us, but it's also hurt other people. We've had incidents and got the car fixed. We keep fighting and got great teammates, and we're going to run them until they don't run no more.
28 Corvette started the race. We'll go with overall because we ended up after the first couple laps we were down to 55th. So now we can talk about how many spots we made up to get to. I was like 50. I'm like trying to get by 54th place. I said there's a lot of cars there.
We're just at the point. 8 hours left, and out of the 24, 16 hours in.
Todd's really got his hands full in that too. He got going with a couple quick laps, but.
Well, that's pretty good. I've broadcasted 3 out of the 18 hours.
Boy. Thanks, Mark.
And you're already tired, huh?
16 hours, whatever it is.
You're up. You got about 30 minutes before your first stint, Mark. So we'll get the helmet ready.
You know what?
I just got a
Hold
note.
the gloves tight one more time.
Just got a note from Pockets, and he says all the BSRs going for you guys, and also we just got BSR Beezers in the house.
Right on.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Glad you guys could join us and cheer us on here in this 24 endurance race. We got some tired drivers.
Oh boy, a car right in front of us.
Serving lots of coffee.
You know what's cool about broadcasting on iRacing? I can actually get in the car and go out there and run a lap. And I show up as a ghost. I still see everybody else. Yeah. But you guys don't want to see that. That would be horrible.
Wow. The leader almost crashed it in front of guy now. Man, lots of stuff going on there. But yeah, those BSR guys running that Polar Bear 500, they're just world-class drivers along with the, Talladega TR. I had my hands full. I was fortunate to I got to about 10th or 11th. Then the big one hit, but those guys are badass. Open setups. It was crazy.
Well, Mel, I heard some of those guys took you to Lime Rock afterwards and put a whooping on you.
Milky, they did.
I didn't win the race, but I represented. At least they wanted to see can he put his right foot where his mouth is. He can sure do a lot of talking. Can this guy drive? And it was just show up with a couple of Aero 88 cars and laughing, giggling, talking shit. It was just it was fun. It was like we used to do in the old days and like we still do in our league, just farting around sometimes. And it was a blast getting to know the guys. And definitely that was a world-class 500. And that was a long, grueling race. Boy, there was a lot of action going on with this in front of Guy Pedro. This 16 car of mine, the leader and they were just duking it out there, and Guy's staying right with them.
Who are we riding now?
We were in the 003, now we're in cockpit with Guy Petra.
The guy's doing a fine job tonight, sir.
He's got the leader right there in front of him. You should give him a little bump and run.
That 18th place, damn near wrecked the leader. The leader got sideways on his own. Look at that Audi I can't believe that thing's still running. That thing is beat on every single part of that car. I think the leader had just come out of the pits.
Oh, you're making me dizzy, Mark, with that gyro cam.
Guy's taking a look at.
It's the Guy cam.
This is the Guy cam.
The gyro cam.
The gyro cam. Yep.
Are you able to show links off the web of it when you're done, Mark, or is it just the game? In your broadcaster, does it show a game window, or are you able to show stuff on the web too?
I probably would have had to set it up before I went live.
Okay. Thanks.
Like window mode or something?
No, it's his program, his broadcast program.
Oh,
let him
got
set
it.
it up in advance, but he has to be set up in advance to do it.
Okay, thanks.
Guy's got approximately 12 laps left, and then Larry Krupp will be getting in the car.
That car is dirty on the front end of it. Look at that thing.
As Larry said earlier, we've been driving around all day and we can't find a car wash. Because I don't have my graphics turned on, so they're all crystal clean, like they're in the render showroom. But I see you guys' pictures you put up, like, oh, that's probably a little more realistic.
We were talking about this not so long ago about the GTP mod for NASCAR racing. I just updated the post I made in the forum, added some more information and pictures, and hopefully now that should make it easier for people having issues to not have issues.
Excellent, thanks. And those guys, I was talking to some of them BSR guys who are excellent road racers, by the way, in the stock cars, to come give GTP a try, you know. And it's Sunday morning, which, you know, probably a good chance maybe they're not racing in their own league, and it's free, so.
Absolutely. GTP drivers at FSB are guests, and they're more than welcome to come and join us and try us out. Absolutely, no.
The Maynard Waltrip, seriously awesome. Thanks, dude.
I'd like to know what the good luck Larry is. We're at church melt on Sundays. BSR loves Jesus. You guys go. You rock.
Absolutely. God before racing. God, family, and then racing.
I threw some text on there. I don't know. Let me know if you guys can see that.
Oh, there it is. I sure do. It's www.fsbracing.com.
Look at that. Multitasking.
You are just the man, man.
You are the man.
Ultimate in broadcasters.
Pony Express Broadcast Network, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe they can go in the bottom left to oppose the iRacing.com.
There is some negotiations going underway right now secretly between me and PEBN. Possible tribute race coming up. We'll be talking about it soon. And some more interesting stuff coming up. But we're also talking about a little team concept racing going on. You guys will be seeing stuff in the forum soon about that. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm in negotiations right now trying to work it out. It's not the same as our team racing where we have teams of 4 drivers. We're actually going to put together teams that'll be out there racing a 3 or 4 special events season. And you guys will see some interesting stuff, because we're going to have, just like this, we'll have identical cars on the track out there running for team points. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'll keep you guys informed. It's just in the early stages, but it looks like it's going to get lined up, and we'll be doing it sometime during the season. And Jim's shaking his head. What the hell is he talking about? He don't even know.
Well, you know, Jim's the driver now. He's not the boss anymore. You the boss. But he's definitely the boss of this team, and has organized it well. And he's like, should I do this? And I was like, absolutely. We want you to. You're the best at organization. You've done it. Organized the league for 13 years, and organize this for us and teach us and learn about it and make us competitive. And I think every one of these races we get a little bit better, a little bit faster, and we learn. You gotta run the races, man, to learn.
And one thing you lots of good adjectives in there, but the adjective you missed there is he keeps us in line.
Yeah,
he's kept us in line for 13 years.
Yeah, definitely me, that's for sure.
Yeah, you were really unruly back in the day, weren't you there?
Oh, yeah.
I can't see that.
A wild man.
He says I can't see that. Very nice. And we have another one in the house. This is another BSR.
Right on.
It's BSR Chevy Chase.
Yeah, he's a heck of a road racer.
Sir.
I believe he was the one that won our little fun race there. Boy, guy picture slides it all the way through turn 1 there.
So, new development. I believe I actually have a microphone in the stands, and so I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a word from the viewers.
Get it.
Right on.
Go get them, Regis.
That thing's catwalking.
Nope, that was a no-go. Milt spilt his beer on the court, apparently.
Oh, oh, that's a hell of a waste of beer, man.
Coffee, I meant coffee.
Well, it's not like I haven't done that.
Alright, taking a look here, the 16 car still 11th place, 14 laps down, the 003 14th place, and the 002 27th place. Right now we've got Greg Bernardo wheeling the 003. We've got Guy Petra behind the wheel of the 16 car, and Todd Larrabee running in the 002.
For you guys that have checked out our broadcasts before, you know Greg Bernardo has the voice of FSB on our Friday Night Winston Cup broadcasts. That guy can drive too.
How did we end up with a number 16 car?
Because somebody else got into the server at 5 a.m. my time before we logged the our 001 in, so they got the 001 number first, unfortunately.
Were they doing that on purpose? We don't take some double numbers.
Well, that's why
we did that so that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but apparently somebody else had the same idea, so.
You just gotta beat them with that 000.
IMSA gave us the 16 number, so. That's old George Fulmer's old number. Road racer actually liked me on Facebook the other day, which was. He's about 80 years old, and him and my dad had a paddle boy in 1970, Donnybrook, and George was having brake problems in the Bud Moore Ford, and my dad put him off and got the win, and afterwards, George was arrested at the podium for trying to punch my dad while they were doing the, so it's so, doing the victory circle, so it's so ironic. You know, my dad made first place was $3,500 for that race, and I remember him calling my mom, and my mom jumping up and down. I must have been, 7 years old? My mom screaming, "We got $3,500!" You know, but back then you bought a house for $17,000. You know, that was a lot of money. And George Fulmer drove the 917 twin turbos, was champion at Can-Am, Trans Am.
Did the 91710? Or the 91730?
917 did. Turbo. He never drove the 917.
The 30? Oh, okay.
Jim Ray left the server. He's left teams. He might be having another stint coming up.
My neighbor keeps calling me, and I texted him a couple hours ago when he called me and told him I won't be available until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. But he just called me again. I'm not answering. Sorry, dude. I think people, they trip out sometimes when they think you're insane. I think maybe we are a little insane. But it wouldn't be, wouldn't be the first time I stayed up for 24 hours. Had lots of coffee.
Might be able to. And you guys over there that are listening to the broadcast over there from Bomb Squad Land, if you guys want to join us in our TeamSpeak, we'd love to have you. I'd be glad to post our TeamSpeak server number and give you the password. You can come on in and join us in the Pit Stop Lounge here. If you want, just let me know, type something up there, and I'd be glad to go ahead and give you that server information.
Guy picture showing 6.6 laps. And he will be handing the car over to Larry Krupp. I could probably go let Larry run one stint. I don't know, I'll have to check, but after a while, because I'll be up next after Larry, so I think I gotta double check that on the spreadsheet.
What time would that put you in the car there? No, because we'd like to stick around for that for sure.
Well, the times, I don't know if they've been updated or not, so, because I'm a little confused when I look at them. We've been updating them, but I don't know if it's been updated since. Yeah, it's showing, yeah, it looks like it has been. Larry Krupp will get in at approximately 9:57 Pacific, and it's 9:49. That's just about right. And his second stint should finish at 10:42 p.m. and then I will get in the car at approximately 11:27 p.m.
That's a few hours from now.
Yep.
Great job with the broadcast there, Mark Dillon. Dang it, man. Started a little bit earlier, and I wasn't expecting that. I get on and I say, well, we got an email here, a post in the forum saying you already been starting this thing. And I'm like, dang, I missed it.
Yeah, we started an hour and a half early. We also went longer than 2.4 hours. It's been
you sure have.
It's been almost 3.5 hours.
It's if you guys have never broadcast before, I've done it a little bit too. For me to keep talking, I can talk a lot, but I can't talk for an hour and a half, 2 hours straight, no less 3.5 hours. But you guys do a great job with that. It's an amazing talent that you guys have broadcasting, and you guys definitely put on a show for us here at FSB all the time.
Hey, Guy, are you still there?
I don't see him in the room.
Go ahead, Mel.
Oh, I just saw Mike Terwillinger, our sponsor for GTP, in the lobby.
Yeah, he is up there. Let's see if we can get him down here. There he is. Well, welcome, Mike Terwilliger.
How's everybody?
Very well. We're out here having a great time. I hope you're watching the broadcast with us. We're having a great time tonight.
Yeah, I am.
Mike Terwilliger is I never say your name right, Mike. Terwilliger is from California. He's our GTP sponsor. He saved GTP. We're by the wayside there. And come up and stepped up and sponsored it. And Mike, I received a very interesting package from you today. It was pretty damn awesome, and thanks for that. And,
I'll wait till Tuesday.
And getting a little preview of the awards, guys, and what he's sending out, and he sent me a very nice thing. Mike, I don't know, I didn't see my emails yet, but did you see the email I sent you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I wrote a reply. Go ahead and wait till Tuesday until you get the second package.
That'd be great. Awesome. I want to show it off to the guys. But that is really cool. I was actually just glowing the rest of the day with that. It's really cool.
Actually, I did a mouse pad back in the day, a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then people were buying that on our store.
I used to have one. I used it until the corners flipped up. I couldn't use it anymore because the mouse kept hitting the corners. I used it for so long. I think I spilled some beer on it, probably though.
That sounds probable.
That's back when we only got drivers from the United States and Canada. I had the two flags on the mouse pad.
Yep. Now we international. Oh boy, Kai Patrick, really hard. He's really pushing. Smokes them going in. Generally, you don't smoke them and survive going into the bus stop. He'll be pitting in 3 laps, and Larry G is going to be getting in. Larry G. Krupp. Larry's had 3 great stints and going on number 4, and a flawless. I mean, a great start. The hardest lap was that start, and he negotiated 2 wrecks right in the first couple corners very well and got it going. Got us running where we're, close to the top 10 here. Had we not had that server glitch, be about 8th place here.
So Mill, I went and took a look, and it looks like out of the 13 splits, you guys are in number 7.
So we're right in the middle there. That's pretty proud of that. That's pretty awesome, and that's that has to do with the iRating. Jim got them all around guys with around 17. Mine's like 2,000. If I would have registered one of the cars, then I would have been in a higher split away from these cars. So we kind of did that, for various reasons, but you can still see the competition level at this mid-range. It just shows you how many great drivers and racers there are in the world. Oh, boys, guys locking them up again there. He's used those tires up, and he's got 2 laps to go here. Getting everything he can out of that Beeline Sim FSB number 16 Chevrolet C7 Corvette.
And here he comes down pit road.
And we got another bomb
mistake.
squatter in the house tonight.
Looking at the wrong thing there.
Bubba just joined us. Bubba from PSR.
What's up, Bubba?
So Mill, we're about to see the Master take over this 16 car, right?
Absolutely. Larry is, oh boy, Larry is the fastest guy on this team. Him and Doug are pretty close, and me and Guy are more about the same speed. A couple seconds a lap slower.
Well, I tell you what, we're watching this, I guess that's the 003 car. I still don't have the paints right here, and I really can't see the numbers in the broadcast. But boy, I tell you, that car is smoking them up almost every lap.
Yeah, that's.
that was Guy in the 16 that we were watching.
Yeah.
The 16 is the yellow car.
Yeah, he's smoking a lot.
Well, and he's gonna have to pit this lap, so.
Yeah, now we're on the 003. I believe this is Bernardo.
And Greg doing just a fine job tonight. Look at him go.
Yeah, he is.
Greg is, to say that today that Milt was having problems even trying to keep up with Greg, that's saying a lot. Milt is our road racing guru, and Greg has worked very, very hard. I know this very hard on road racing skills, and he is up there. He's just developed that craft. And just hats off to Greg Bernard, the voice, one of our voices of FSB. We have 3 voices of FSB.
Oh, we got 2 FSB cars together. Yep. All right.
And our own very own mentor, Junior, and Greg Bernardo. Greg Nardo, as I like to call him.
Looks like Larrabee came back out in the 002 right behind Guy. Guy's going to be pitting this lap, and Todd's on cold tires, very scary. And that car's got a suspension damage that we haven't been able to totally get fixed. It replaced the front and rear clip, so it looks good, but the 002 is having some handling issues. Getting up to speed with those cold tires is, you just have to err on. Oh, and he goes into the grass there. He might get a cut the course penalty there, and he does slow it down a little bit.
How much horsepower are the bets there?
They're probably about a little under 500. So that's why they have such a hard time getting away from these GT cars.
And here we go, Bernardo also hitting pit road.
Not sure if that's Greg's first stint. I think it is. Yeah, so he'll be just getting tire and fuel, and if they need to fix the car.
So we're looking at about 8 more hours, right? No, 7 more hours.
7 hours, 35 minutes. Larry Krupp is in the 16 car now. FSB 001. Yeah, you should see the rig this guy's got. Triple screens, Porsche steering wheel with hydraulic brakes, all custom built by him. It's an unbelievable rig. It's in our forum, pictures of it. This guy's a serious road racer. He's won a lot of races in iRacing too. So his favorite car is the Corvette. It's yellow, of course. That's why he likes running this car, and he has one of those yellow C01s, I think it is, Corvettes for real, that he farts around with up there in Michigan.
Ah, that's a good place to be.
And now he's out on cold tires too here. I tell you, these guys are so good. I am so slow on that outlap. So scared. I got a little more brave in the second run, but I just don't want to put it off.
Looking at the standings here, we see the 4 car is still the leader, and it has grown to a 3-lap lead.
Mike T, you still here?
Looks like P2 may have come to pit stop.
Now, Mike, I do have some bad news about the GTP race for tomorrow, that we were unable to get the track loaded into the server by the owner of Race LM. They have to actually load our tracks in. I can't load them in like I can the other servers, so it was not loaded. I'll take half the responsibility because I didn't stay on his butt about it and resend a couple emails to him, but it does appear it was not loaded up.
Oh, okay. Can we race another? Does anyone want to race another track?
You sure can if you want to. I'll be up in the morning. I'll be heading to bed pretty soon here, but I'll be up in the morning and go ahead and load up whatever you guys want.
Oh, P2 just lost it, and he's parked on the in turn 1 there. This could be disastrous.
Wow.
Wow, he gets back going again. Fatigue, different drivers setting in. This thing is not set in stone yet.
But yeah, Mike, that was a non-GTP race. I mean, a non-points race tomorrow. So
correct. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Because we were running this today. Yeah, I'm going to check the schedule.
I'll be sleeping all day tomorrow.
What about something like Kialami or Riverside?
It has to be with something that's loaded into the server, and I don't believe those are. I'm going to check right now and see what our next race is.
It's Road America, I think.
I think we should put Road America up then. That's what it is, Road America on the 5th.
Let's do that. That way we can practice.
Sure, that sounds good.
Let's see.
That means I practiced the wrong race all day today.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry.
It's no problem.
It's the only server for that we cannot load it in because of the GTP way it's set up. The owner of Race LM has to actually load it. I hope Road America's loaded, and we run that already, right?
Yeah, we ran last season.
Okay, cool.
It was our last race with Mike Baker.
Mike Baker, what a great guy. One of our road racers here, passed away unexpectedly last season. We miss him sorely. He developed a racing program, a car file manager, and a GTP installer, all kinds of great stuff for us, and he did pass away suddenly. And we've gone ahead and named our Pro Cup Series the Mike Baker Memorial Pro Cup Series in his name, his honor. And his son Chris really did appreciate that. Chris, a great road racer himself, was devastated, of course, by his dad, by the loss of his dad. But he was one of the original cats from our 2003, that Mike Baker, and he knows a lot of this code stuff. And he was down there in Brazil. He lived in Brazil for quite a long time. That's where some road racers are, huh?
Thanks, Wolf. Yeah, we sorely missed Mike. He was just such a neat guy, and like we said earlier, you get relationships just like these other guys in these leagues watching now. They've all become friends and look forward to seeing each other every week, sometimes every day, and never know. Life is short, man.
And here we go, Larry in the 16 car, second lap out. Laying down a 140.
Yeah.
And he's caught his teammate in the 003 car.
I know Greg's gonna let him by as soon as he can because he knows Larry's faster. Greg's just trying to run his pace, as I would do the same thing because Larry's way faster than me too. Oh boy, Greg got pinched off by that. Okay, that Italian job there, that's what we're calling that car. That's one of the cars on our list. That Italian flag painted car has been very difficult to get around all race.
Well, just look at the state of the car.
Yeah, it's beat to crap, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's nothing on that thing that hasn't hit something.
There is one thing built, Apex.
Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for all the support y'all do. I'm going to head out of here and get up early for that GTP race tomorrow and get that set up for y'all. You guys have a great night. Awesome job, man, and I hope this is archived so we can come and watch it again sometime.
Oh yeah, it'll be all over YouTube in the morning.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. Thank you, Milt, for all you've done. Mike, Guy, you guys are great. I hope to see y'all tomorrow or soon. And don't forget, we also have dirt track racing tomorrow night. The dirt late models are running, I think it's Fulton Speedway tomorrow night, but we hope to see you there. And thanks to Bomb Squad for coming out tonight and supporting us. You guys are awesome. And we're going to get together and probably try some interleague stuff with you very soon if you guys are interested. I'm working on some stuff right now in my head, and I'm sure you guys would love to do that. I don't know. I can't say I'm sure you would, but I would think you guys would, and would love to have you guys do that. And look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thank you for coming out.
Later, Sam.
You guys have a great night. Thanks again, guys.
Another GT car beat the crap. That guy right there is he's hard to get around too. There's just places you take your life in your hands trying to pass, and other places you want to get them coming out of the corner. Coming in, it's hard because if they miss their braking point, they'll use you as a braking point, you know. I'm gonna jump down to the team channel and see how the spotting is going and see how much more time I can play with you guys here. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna head out myself, guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
Mike.
Just to help out, I'm gonna create a topic about the Road America race and put the track download and everything there.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
See you soon. Looks like there's a good cushion to the car behind us. They're probably going to a pit stop or just coming out of one.
The 16 car?
Yeah. I was just trying to see when you're going through the table of the drivers.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, still a lap behind 10th place though.
Hopefully the two cars ahead won't cause loss of time, too much time.
Not sure what's going on with second place, but they keep dropping back. They're 4 laps behind now.
But there's some damage there that they just can, choosing to race without it instead of maybe spending like 3-4 minutes in the pits. Or like trying to extend it to the next driver change.
It's just really disappointing when you come over here and you look at this leader of the 4 car, and he's not doing anything special. I mean, he's running the same lap times as the FSB guys. He just hasn't had the server problems. I don't think I've seen anybody else drive this number 4 car. Every time I've looked at it, it's been the same guy driving.
What's the name of the driver? Do you know, or does it show on the list?
Cordell Cologne.
Oh, because I think there was a guy from iRacing who was going to do the whole 24 hours by himself. I just wondered if perhaps it was him. But I don't think that's his name. That's a pretty good lap time though.
140.
I thought.
Looks like Larry's running 142s right now, but he's been in traffic.
What is that 137.8 over there? Is that his qualifying pace?
Yeah, that's his qualifying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see FSB, they ran 138. I'm pretty sure that was Larry who ran that.
Oh, look at that number. The car ahead with the supremely bent wing. The Audi.
Greg Bernardo is actually catching Larry, and I think Larry's on newer tires. Well, no, they pitted at the same time.
Yeah, Shad's saying that leader doesn't show driver change, so the guy is just going for it, I guess.
That's funny that everybody shows a driver change except for the leader. But yeah, Greg Bernardo's doing an awesome job. He's catching Larry.
Woo, yeah.
Oh, look at Greg, man. He has caught Larry.
He is running his ass off right now.
Yeah, they pitted at, I think they pitted at about the same time, and Larry passed him, but now Greg has caught back up to him.
Greg's put a ton of practice in, and this really seems to fit the. He's done a bunch of GT racing. I mean, he's racing almost every night, and really is improved.
Yeah, he's right there hanging with him.
Our spotter for Larry is getting tired, so it's 3 hours or 2 hours ahead there. It's after midnight. So in a little bit, I'm gonna have to get down there and spot for Larry, and then drive next.
Piece of cake for you.
Yeah, I don't know. After that, I'm gonna need some couple hours, even if I just rest my eyes a little bit. Get some ice on the shoulder and the back. Make a bathroom stop. I'll be right back.
So, Guy, you ran 24-hour races on NR 2003?
No, I haven't. Listen. The most I've done, I was never able to get into it. I was never around to get into a team or anything. The most I've done was just like 2.5 hours of Le Mans by myself. Like a couple times. Oh, actually, and I ran a 3-hour race as well. In R Factor 2 a couple times.
Yeah, that's the longest ones I've done have been like the Indy 500 or the Daytona 500. My hands are definitely pretty sore by the end.
My dream is to someday have a nice rig, a setup that...
Uh-oh, Greg Bernardo spins out hard into the wall. Uh-oh, he is stuck in the tire wall. He's gonna have to do a tow.
Go into the pits.
Yep, Greg Bernardo stuck in the tires.
Sorry about that, Mike.
And there he goes, quick tow back to the pits.
Can you get a screenshot to report to iRacing, because maybe they can do something regarding the physical mesh of the tires so that doesn't happen.
Oh my gosh, that looks like a bad wreck for Greg.
Yeah,
He
was stuck in the tires for a while.
I wonder if he had to have it towed.
He did, because he couldn't get off the tires.
What's the tow penalty there, like 3.5 minutes?
I don't know. To be honest,
because you got the toll time and then you have the accident, like the damage time.
Yeah, I can't see there. All I can see is my car. So as far as those particulars, so I don't know. He's going to spend some time on pit road there. With all that smoke, that looked like a bad lick. I hope you wreck these things hard enough, you can kill them.
We're actually taking a look at the replay right here. Just a little hot into turn 1 and then backed into the tires and it was stuck.
That's the fear you have when you start pushing. You get more and more. Try to go a little bit harder in, a little bit harder in. And boom. Bam. That's a hard rear leg, hopefully. No, okay, that tire smoke is just him spinning the tires. So.
Yeah.
You can kill the motor in these if you hit it hard enough, but wow.
And
well,
still sitting on pit road being towed.
You're gonna keep it going for a while, but I need to get down there and give relief to Guy Pitchus and spot for Larry. So,
hi, good luck, Mills.
I don't know if
I actually think I'm going to shut it down. It's been 4 hours.
Yeah, it's definitely, we appreciate it.
I shall get going too as well, but it was nice catching up, joining up and catching up with you guys and following the broadcast this week.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Nice job you guys doing here.
Oh boy, before we go, real quick, Shaq Drew was saying the leader doesn't show enough driver changes. That get disqualified for that. You have to have your fair share of driver changes, and each driver has to have a fair share of the stint in the car. So that's interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens when the race concludes, if they get DQ'd or not.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for showing me, and excellent commentary. And Mark, great job as always. Thank you. And as we see, I can just keep talking forever, but I need to get down there. Too much coffee. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace out.
Later, guys. Bye.
Take it easy, Mel. Good luck.
Okay, thanks, man.
So there you have it, Pony Express Broadcast Network, bringing you 4 hours out of the 24 hours of Daytona. Over here, FSB Endurance Racing. Be sure to check out fsbracing.com if you happen to be interested in doing some endurance racing over at iRacing with these guys. They definitely know what they're doing. Months of preparation, 15 drivers from around the world running 3 cars here for 24 hours, and as you can see this, one of them right there, he's in 11th place. So these guys definitely know what they're doing. So hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you next time.